Good evening, everyone. Happy Super Bowl Sunday to each and every one of you out there. No matter what team you're rooting for, if you're just watching the particular game, thanks for joining us here tonight for Crypto Talk Now, the CTN Super Bowl Sunday special. Glad to be here to bring you the news. And before we do so, we're going to mention what news headlines we happen to have for you here tonight. So basically, there's quite a bit in regards to XRP. Shout out to Mike Cornwell for providing quite a bit of just that. On top of that, we have some Quant, some Cypherium, believe it or not, some XLM, again, 2 days in a row. Really cool to see that. XDC. And on top of that, we happen to have some, whatchamacallit? I got to double check that now. LCX HBAR. And you're not going to want to miss what we happen to have tonight for you in regards to Casper. All right. Let's go ahead and kick into the comments. Thanks for being here. If anything, smash that like if you haven't done so already. And let's start off with welcoming, some of our community members and some new people, hopefully. Let's start off with Born Yesterday, who happens to have... Wow, that's an interesting pistol to shoot somebody. Like, yeah, why would anybody want to make it that way? Anyway, but welcome nonetheless. States he has basically watched all of my Jasmine videos. Great work, by the way, and bought a pretty nice bag. Well, thank you very much. And thanks for being here. Hopefully we see more of you. Guys, let's welcome Born Yesterday, who clearly wasn't born yesterday. Anyway. All right, KK is in the house. Apparently, the aliens or whatever that were retrieved from the UFO came here to buy Jasmine before the bull run. Very cool. Welcome, KK, by the way. That's just what you heard. Don't hold you to it. All right. And it was confirmed. All right, fair enough. Larry enjoying, I guess, the Super Bowl Sunday with his family. Says, welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here, Larry. Please hit that like. Yes, thank you very much. McDizzle, aka Mike Cornwell, states, any crypto commercial? I can't see the Super Bowl. Yeah, I haven't been watching. I've been just kind of checking on some scores and so on. Saw like a few key highlights. So it's basically just the first touchdown of the game. That was about it. I know that last I saw, Philadelphia was in the lead. Want to welcome Grizzly Bear Greg. Thank you for being here. Tim Shea's in the house. I didn't get a chance to welcome you, Tim. Sorry about that. Actually, that's the first time I saw your comment. All right, so welcome, Tim Shea. Good to see you. Sobo's in the house on this lovely Super Bowl Sunday. Hopefully, you guys like the thumbnail. Yeah. Can you guess? Hopefully, if you guys know your football, hopefully you know whose jersey that is. Anyway, Sobo's here. Good to see Sobo. About aliens. Yes. All right. How about this? Hello. I have an issue with Coinbase. You know what? I think I saw you post something about that. I didn't have a chance to respond. Yeah, I believe it was with HBAR. Wasn't that the case? And it's basically been pending all this whole time. That's odd because I mean HBAR should be like boom, done. So I don't know what to tell you in regards to that. I mean, the only thing I could think of is, did you transfer anything before? And if so, was it the same asset like HBAR on Coinbase? Did you have any issues before? Because if you did the exact same thing, then it should have just went right through. I mean, this is not like, Bitcoin or Ethereum. I mean, even with those, I mean, it should have been done by now. The only thing I could think of is the wrong network being sent. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to Lenoir, by the way. He hooked me up with one Quant last night. I thought that was amazing. But when he asked me for the wallet address for my Quant, of course, I had to make sure, I sent it, the address from Ethereum, right? So that's the only thing I could think of is just maybe it's something like that. But I mean, you seem like you know your stuff, so I don't know. I wish I could help you out with that. I would have to know a little bit more about that. That sucks though, man. I mean, I'd be very frustrated too. River says, "Good evening, everyone." All right. Can you guys see my comments above? Yep, I saw it. And let's see here. Grizzly, they were there before, but not now. Marcus Simmons, welcome. He says, "Shawty." All right, well, welcome. Tim Shea's in the house. Say hello to Marcus. Yes, welcome, Marcus. I haven't seen you here before, but welcome. Open Mind is here. Hi there. Consider changing your avatar. Speaks more about who you are, what you're about. Saw you the other night, but it just kind of helps us identify you a lot easier. Let me go further down. Here we go. Grizzly Bear Greg states his H bar transfer to his cold wallet is still pending due to Coinbase having issues with transfers with H bar. Oh God. Yeah, I mean, I know the whole concept of not your keys, not your crypto and stuff like that. But my main thing is I always like to double check to make sure that nobody has issues with anything being transferred. And speaking of transferring over from your from exchange to a cold storage, we have a special type of video here tonight. It's only about a minute 12 seconds. It's about how you can transfer your Casper onto your ledger. It's a quick video. I think somebody else asked about it in the comments before, but we got one about that. So hopefully you guys will like that. Steven Townsend states XDC has a plugin which is blockchain agnostic. Does that mean it is like XRP but on XDC? I think so. I saw somebody else post about this. I think we might actually have it in the news segment. Don't quote me on that, but I could swear earlier today when I was doing some of my research notes to bring in, to prepare for the show, I saw something in regards to that. But yes, Stephen, I'd like to welcome you. And on top of that, yeah, you're welcome. You're very, very welcome. We've been interesting to see somebody use this particular pistol in the movie Deer Hunter, right? If you ever seen that movie. Classic movie, right? All right. Let's see where we're at on the comments. I don't know how we're going to do on attendance tonight. I mean, it is Super Bowl Sunday, but, thank you for whoever's here tonight. Hello, nobody is home, says Mr. Cody Core. You guys got to keep in mind, Cody Core is traditionally wore his Bam Bam Bigelow, what do you want to call it? Hat. What do you technically call that? Do-rag? Is it a do-rag? I don't know what you call it. But anyway, he has kept the tradition alive. All right. Steven Townsend says, is PLI on XDC like Quant? Sorry, not XRP. Oh. I don't know. I don't have that answer. Yeah, that would be one I would not know if that's the case. All right, let me go further down. Excuse me, I gotta take a quick sip of this juice. All it is simply watermelon. I don't know if you guys ever had it. It's pretty good stuff. Anyway, yeah, see, we ticked up to 30. Who knows? Maybe we'll have good turnout tonight. Consider hitting that like button if you haven't done so already. We're approaching the 10-minute mark. We're just welcoming a few more people, and then we're going to kick it right into the show. Tim Shea says that he said it a few hours ago. It's gone now. Oh, yeah, because you know what? There's some particular, even on the likes, I guess, that happens. I don't know why it's set to that. I don't know if it's like a default mechanism on YouTube that does that, but it's one of those things. ISO Kev is in the house. Good to see you. Welcome back. Lovely picture of yourself at the beach. Hey, what's good? I'll tell you what's good is finally getting a break from not hearing as many helicopters over the house because of the Super Bowl. I mean, just nonstop all day. It's just buzzing around, buzzing around, buzzing around. I mean, and not just like one helicopter. You got like, police helicopter, ghetto bird, right? Then you also got like a couple other news helicopters, and then, it's one of those things. Because I do live in Northwest Phoenix, and technically my mailing address is Glendale, so it's not like it's that far away, I don't live right next to the stadium or anything like that, but I mean, they kind of just, you know what I mean? It's a helicopter. They're gonna buzz around a lot. Cody Core, wait, we found real life outer space? Possibly. I mean, this whole thing about like the universe is infinite. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to sound like a conspiracy nut or anything. If it's infinite, we're supposed to be like the only things in the. I don't know. Just I'm not going to go that route. Anyway, XXI Gaming, what's good, CTN fam? Good to see you, XXI. Who are you rooting for tonight? Are you even watching? I'm sure you're watching it, man. With all the, NFL or Madden you play and so on. I'll tell you this much: anybody wants to play me at some NFL Blitz, I'm your guy. All right, good to have you here, XXI. And let's see here. What's good, Tim? Watching this game had to tap into the CTN show. Well, thank you for that. You should get it eventually, but I understand I would be frustrated too, man. I'd be like, what the heck is wrong with this? I'd be like, not my keys, not my crypto. And then, not my ledger. Why is this pending? Or I don't know. I mean, what would you say at that point? You just be frustrated. All right. Salamander states, by the way, welcome, Salamander. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hello, XTC is doing an update February 14th, 2023. 2.0. Yeah. I know a lot of people are just like, will it be, flat out 2.0? We have to get more into that. I want to hear an official announcement, but it is kind of interesting, right? And we do have some XTC coverage for you guys tonight. You're not going to want to miss that. Mr. Grizzly Bear Greg states he talked with Coinbase customer service, and they said that there's an issue transferring HBAR for everyone using their site. Well, at least they addressed that there's an issue. It'd be one thing if they're just like, oh, sorry, sir, we don't know what you're talking about. I'd be like, whoa. I'd be like scared to death at that case. I'd be like, what what about don't tell me this is lost on the blockchain or, because, let's face it, sometimes people have those problems. Anyway, Coinbase sucks. Donkey, Chotch. All right, let's go further down. Brian Dowie's in the house. Good to see you, Brian. I'm sure you're watching the Super Bowl. You got your Brady jersey on, and I think I can't remember before. I basically mentioned what your son was wearing as well. But yeah, good to see you, Brian Dowie. All right, let's go further down. The turf on this field blows. I wouldn't know. I haven't even been. I'll put it this way, Tim. I want to state this much: the last time I was at a Cardinals game, they didn't even play at what they play now. They played at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe. That is the last time I went to a game. So that could tell you how long it's been since I've been to one. And I believe when I went, the Cardinals were playing the Steelers. And it was like the first time in a long time. Anyway, and when I went, I think it was a preseason game. So, oh God, I mean, it was like August, 110 degrees, sweating my what off. Yeah, it was not a pleasant experience. Anyway, Brian Dowie says that was dumb decision. They'll never do that again. Huh. All right, what are your thoughts on Constellation DAG? I am fully aware of it. And my thing is, it's on my deep dive list. But I heard nothing but great things about it. And let me know what you think about Constellation DAG. Are you into it? I see that we have over 40 people here tonight. That's pretty good, considering it's Super Bowl Sunday. So thank you guys. We will get into the news just here in a bit. I want to welcome a few more people. Kev Cleveland's back. What's up, all? Good to have you here back again, Kev. A new person I've never seen before who is up. I think you're kind of smiling. Maybe you are. Maybe that's a mustache. I don't know. So up, Dell. Hello, new to the show. Greetings from Morocco. Wow, that's amazing. That is really, really cool. Well, greetings from Morocco. I never seen anybody connect here from Morocco. Welcome. I'm just going to call you Dell. Glad to have you here, Dell. Consider changing your avatar to maybe a Dell avatar for a computer if you want. But I'll try my best to remember you. It just kind of helps us put a name or to a picture, face, whatever the case be. Guys, let's welcome Dell. Never seen him before. All right. McDizzle states, since the Super Bowl is in Arizona, we may have to wait 10 days until the points are counted before we will know the winner. Oh, jeez. All right. Grizzly Bear Greg. Hey, everyone. My H bar just went through. I did the transfer. Oh, that long. All right. Well, who knows? Maybe that will, maybe I should just do a quick little short about that. That must have been really frustrating, Greg. Yeah. I'd be sweating it. All right. Good to know. Coinbase is, Coach JV would say, get your together. All right. Crypto McDizzle. Hopefully it's not Maricopa County. Jeez. I live in Maricopa County. I mean, that's the biggest county in the whole state of Arizona. Anyway, Tim, make any bets? And Eagles, 100% NFL Blitz. I haven't played that in a minute. You will not believe the team I used to pick all the time when the game first came out. So there's a little flaw with that game. A lot of people don't know. But let me just state this. All right. The New York Jets were absolutely amazing in the first NFL Blitz game, the arcade version. I don't know about the port to, Nintendo 64, but the arcade version was pretty. It was crazy. People would just be saying, how are the Jets this good? I'm like, I don't know. All right. Let me go further down. Let's see here. I want to welcome Curtain Behind. Talking about the NGN, like that one guy a few days ago. Network is here over 2,200% up in the last 2 weeks. Okay, thank you for that. I'd like to welcome you to Curtain Behind. And let's see here. Unless you're the same guy as before, hopefully you're not. But whatever the case be, we have some people from here. I want to welcome, hold on a second. I want to welcome Steve the Canadian. Says, oh, hey, good to have you here. And GN in the house. The network is growing. Okay, fair enough. Thank you for being here. Let's welcome Sir Better Than You. All right. Cash Cats is in the house. Hi, Max, the CTM fam. And if anything, we are going to kick it back into the news. Let's go ahead and do that right now. All right. Thanks for joining us on the Super Bowl Sunday. Smash that like if you haven't done so already. Meant to start everything roughly around 10 to 15 minutes, but that didn't work out. But that's okay. So if anything, let's go ahead and get into it. Shout out to Mike Cornwell, who brought some of this particular information. We're starting things off a little bit different tonight with XRP instead of Quant, but we still have Quant to follow it up. So if that's what you've been waiting for, that's all right. Actually, I should restate that. I need to start something real quick. I did promise XLM first. I'm going to bring that up real quick, and I'm actually going to share as a local file. Now, some people have asked me, I want to see XLM, some of the use cases. I want to see maybe, MoneyGram, some of these other particular projects. I want to see, more case studies. All right, I've heard you. I'm going to go ahead and share this. This is from a local file instead of just sharing it off the internet. If anything, it'll be a lot less leggier. But this one's roughly a minute, and this is basically Stellar plus MoneyGram access. Nice to be able to see this with a visual. So here we go.
The digital economy lets people freely send, receive, and hold their wealth as digital assets at any time. But 60% of the world relies on cash, and people need to quickly, securely, and affordably convert their cash into digital assets and back. Stellar enables MoneyGram to provide cash to crypto on and off ramps. At participating MoneyGram locations, people can use these ramps to convert cash into USDC, held in their digital wallet. With USDC, people can use their money in ways they couldn't before. They can send it to another wallet worldwide or hold on to it, protecting themselves from market volatility. People can then access their USDC globally and pick it up in cash at a participating MoneyGram location. This is just the beginning. Cash to Crypto is powering real-world blockchain solutions and creating more equitable access to the global financial system. This is what Stellar was built for.
All right. Another thing I want to mention real quick is states that with USDC, you saw those particular clients are able to have access. Think about what was mentioned in that particular clip. Have access to basically, the likes of this particular crypto or this stable coin, or if you want to think about it, right, pairings that they never had access to before. What's another example of what we're going to see? People have access to what they've never had access to before. Well, maybe they did have access to it before. The answer is Jasmy. Now, this wasn't a plan, but I thought this was a perfect chance to mention this. So, you saw what was mentioned in that particular video clip, and the significance of what you saw is not just, of course, the likes of, MoneyGram example with Stellar. That's big in itself. But yes, the Japanese people being able to have access to what they never had access to before. Lifting that particular ban this coming June is going to be huge for who? Well, all of us, but mainly, let's face it, the Japanese people. Get a high volume of people being able to have access to something that was, let's face it, banned for a while. That's going to be massive, and that's why I feel so bullish about the likes of Jasmy and why we continue to follow it a lot more often than we did before. I think Jasmy's trending a lot more. I know those XLM, footage and so on, but come on. I mean, think about it. That was a perfect example, a perfect segue, if you will, going into Jasmy. Later on tonight, we have some more Jasmy info. Anyway, I want to get more into some of what we're going to share with you tonight. So basically, it is now getting into the whole thing with XRP. And shout out to Crypto Mike, who provided this particular information. And here it is. And it's basically this. It says the ISO GOAT. It says this is interesting. It is. Let's go ahead and zoom in about this. Shout out to, again, to Crypto Mike. So this particular person says his name is Neil Hartner, quotes Brad Garlinghouse, CEO Ripple, says the SEC is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? He's mentioned this quite a few times. Says let them eat Cocoa Puffs. It's the only way to end their crusade. I mean, it's kind of funny, right? But it kind of gives into the whole quote unquote conspiracy, if you will. All right, this guy. We got to have a good laugh at the same time. We'll get more into serious stuff. But it says, note the estimated delivery dates and draw your own conclusions about when a settlement might happen. Estimated delivery between February 28th, 2023 and March 13th. Come on, guys. We got to start things off with a good laugh. Shout out to Crypto Mike, right? And if anything, that was kind of funny. I thought it was kind of funny because, let's face it, Brad Garlinghouse does mention that. All right. Now, this is a little bit more serious, but it's a little bit funny at the same time, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Let me share this in a way in which you can hear it. I actually beat Mike to the post, I should say, for a change. Usually he always beats me to it. So I actually retweeted this morning, and then, of course, he tagged me, and I was like, yes, I finally beat you, Mike, to beat you on the jump. This is cool, all right? So let's start things right, all right? And in his corner, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Ripple SRP, versus the number one contender, Mr. Joe Lubin of Ethereum. Here we go. 1 minute and 11 seconds. Dang, let's go.
Bitcoin is
an experiment in monetary theory. It's a breakthrough in emergent collaborative systems.
Complicated and maybe the future as a store of value.
In 5 years, cash will be...
Cash. I don't think cash is changing dramatically in the next 5 years.
Cash will be valuable still, but it may take on different forms. Some of those forms will be decentralized cryptocurrencies.
You should invest in XRP because...
Not even going to answer that.
We're solving a multi-trillion-dollar problem, and we're making a lot of progress towards that.
ICOs are
fraud,
speculative, and speculation drives innovation. So they're very important in creating foundational infrastructure.
Governments should embrace cryptocurrency because they can help make governments more efficient.
I am certain the government should embrace applications built on blockchain systems.
What keeps me awake at night is
email.
Keeping the Ripple momentum going.
To critics who say cryptocurrency is a bubble, I say yes, it's a bubble that drives innovation.
They were also the people shorting Amazon in 1997.
All right, glad to share that with you guys. We have a little bit more before we kick it into the comments again. And basically, it's this right here. And again, shout out to Mike Cornwell, doing a really good job of providing a lot of the info that you see here tonight. Basically, this is from a person I never seen before, but that's okay. Edward Farina states XRPH founder reveals that XRP Healthcare is building a metaverse clinic, right? So it's not just about having, a bunch of, malls and whatnot, or places to buy your Nikes on the feet to keep your cipher complete or whatever. It's also about having some healthcare. All right. So let's jump into this for just a brief moment. This is only a minute and 15 seconds. And if anything, we'll come back and kick it into the comments and welcome a few more people I just saw drop in. Here we go.
Let's hop into the roadmap that you guys have already pretty good lined up, and take a little closer look to your next milestones and what you guys are planning and doing here. So could you explain a little bit more, what are your critical and most complex next steps for the, let me say, maybe next 3 to 6 months on your roadmap?
Yeah, I mean, the decentralized marketplace right now is number one for us. We're building that right now. As I said, in the background, the metaverse clinic, that is happening. Also, the design of the clinic is happening. Also, we plan to put medical records on the blockchain. We are in the process of building that app also in the background. And yeah, there's a lot to come. I mean, we will try to do the best we can, as I said. Looking at Q4 there, there'll be continued upgrades to the XRP healthcare ecosystem. And after that, we just plan to keep expanding. So we will do our best to meet this deadline for sure.
Perfect. Kane,
all right, there's actually a tad bit more in regards to this. Just give me a moment. I want to show you guys this particular thread. Hold on a second. If you're wanting to see the full particular video, there is a full interview. All you have to do is basically go on YouTube. You could type in XRPH-XRP Healthcare, and you can view the entire one, which I don't know. I think it's like maybe 45 minutes to an hour, something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. And shout out to Mike Cornwell for sharing it. Let's kick it back into the comments. We do have some more XRP coverage for you, and I'm going to go ahead and welcome a few more people I saw. But yeah, thank you very much, Sir Better Than You, who is stating, like the damn stream. Yes, thank you very much. Brian Dowie says his brother bet on Kelsey first quarter touchdown, Kelsey first half touchdown. You mean KC? Hold on. Full game TD. All right, hold on. Kelsey / Hurst TD and green Gatorades. He's pretty happy right now. Okay. My bad. Let me go further down. Let's see here. Cash Cats states exciting stellar commercial. Going to be huge. Yeah, it's from a while back. It's just a lot of these things kind of fly under the radar. They didn't air properly because they don't really advertise anything. And then on top of that, we have, for instance, other ones that we share here at CTN. Like, for instance, we have some of these case studies, right? So we're glad to always share those particular ones. All right, let me go further down. Brian Dowie states, Tim, he won all his bets early in the game. Now he's just waiting for the Gatorade. Huh, interesting. All right, let me go further down. We have Open Mind, who has a new avatar. Let me check that out real quick. And looks like it's I don't know. Was that the Grim Reaper or something like that? I can't tell. Huh. Looks cool, though. I'll be able to identify you a lot easier. And Machis. All right. Welcome to Cool Cat Crypto. Dell also changed his avatar. Thank you very much for doing that. Love the show. Nice to meet you, Max. Well, thanks, man. I mean, we love that you do love the show. So we're hoping to see more of you. And if you change your avatar, I think that's shows a sign that you will. Let's see. You said you lived in Morocco, and so you have a camel, and I guess maybe that's you riding it, or the animated version. Very, very cool. All right. Let me go further down, and we have. I'll have to check that out myself. That interests me because I'm a big fan of Breaking Bad, and also like the spinoff. Also like the movie, El Camino. I actually wish that they could do more spinoffs from the Breaking Bad universe. Personally, I cannot get enough of Breaking Bad characters or part of that universe. But I know that the what was it, Vince Gilligan, and I think the other guy, I forgot his name, stated that was it. I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's go further down. And Indiana Jones, June 30th. And we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it's not as bad as the last one. The last one was okay. Thought it could have been a lot better. All right. Max taking a look at SHX runs on Stellar. Huh. Del, do you like Songbird? Yeah, you know what? Songbird gets brought up quite a bit lately, and it's also part of the QFS. All right, let's go ahead and highlight that. Let's kick it back into our news coverage. Shout out again to Mike Cornwell. Basically, I'm going to get more into this. And here we go. So let's share this in a way you can see it. And if anything, here we go. It's this whole thing with Quartz. I know you're like, what the heck is this? So check this out. It says that this is a new brochure for TCS Quartz. It's basically a Ripple-capable platform. Familiar graphic, but updated name, Quartz Command Center, highlighting what you see in this particular link. Let's go ahead and blow this up. And yeah, look at this. It says the art of the possible with Quartz. And, I wish I could blow it up a little bit more. But, I mean, just kind of draw your attention to some of this, right? It is very, very similar and familiar, right? If you're wondering about this, it says the Quartz Gateway is a single smart channel that can help integrate applications with various blockchain platforms, industry networks, and ecosystems using simple REST APIs. Using the Quartz Gateway, organizations can connect seamlessly to multiple blockchain platforms, thereby eliminating the need for large-scale and continuous changes to be made to their existing systems. It facilitates interoperability between blockchains and with other messaging networks and industry standards like ISO. On top of that, it supports orchestration of services across multiple blockchain platforms, thus delivering, I should say, agility and flexibility to organizations operating diverse business processes. Now, in regards to the command center itself, a little bit more on that. It says it helps blockchain sponsor to administer and maintain oversight of the entire blockchain network. It provides a comprehensive visual representation of all the activities taking place within the blockchain ecosystem at any point in time, and allows the system administrator of the sponsor to make key decisions when administering the network. I've said this a long time ago, and I think I might have first said this with what happened with, like Terra Luna, right? And let's face it, there's some other ones where this stands out. Obviously, FTX, right? I'm actually for this because it kind of reminds you of like an internal affairs, if you will, an oversight for the blockchain. You know what I mean? If something sinister is going on, right, you want something to basically look more into that and so on. So it'll be interesting to see how this pans out. Glad to see that Mike Cornwell basically shared this. Let's go ahead and kick it more into some more of what we have here tonight for you. We did share this earlier. That was the one I had that I also found out. I meant to share this the other day. Mike actually tagged me on the 10th, I believe it was, in regards to this. So this is about 2 days old. But it's still pretty valid, right? So it says, since Gary Gensler won't abide by his own policies to come in and talk, the House GOP, right, the Republicans, will hold him accountable. Today, as promised, our oversight of the SEC Gov begins with a request for documents surrounding their interactions with Sam Bankman-Fried of FTX. Let's go ahead and blow this up, just kind of give you guys an idea of what this looks like. And let me give me just a second. Jeez, hold on just a minute. I apologize. Give me just a second. All right, sorry about the interruption. I'm gonna get right back into where we're at. So I believe it's this right here. Yeah, it is. Sorry, I kind of lost my spot. Let me see if I can blow that up just a little bit more. Let me see if I can copy the image. I can. All right, yeah. So let's just do it right here. All right. So this basically says the United States. Let me just double check I'm not muted or anything. God, that would be horrible. All right. So it says the United States House of Representatives. Gives the address, of course. So it says on February 10th, 2023, they're basically, handing this to Gary Gensler. This is kind of interesting, right? So it says the Honorable Gary Gensler, Chairman of the SEC. Dear Chairman Gensler, December 13th, 2022, the House Committee on Financial Services held a hearing about the collapse of FTX. John Ray, the current CEO of FTX, tasked with unwinding the organization after his collapse, testified before a committee about his progress. We also expected to hear testimony from FTX's former CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried. However, the night before the committee's hearing, Bahamian officials arrested him in anticipation of the extradition request from the United States. Bahamian authorities announced that they made the arrest after being notified by the United States that it had filed, listen to this, criminal charges against Sam Bankman-Fried. On top of that, it states, following that announcement, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York confirmed that he had filed an indictment against Sam Bankman-Fried and that the indictment would be unsealed the following morning, which was Tuesday, December 13th, 2022. It says the night of Sam Bankman-Fried's arrest, Gerber Grewal, the SEC's director of the Division of Enforcement, released a statement praising the arrest and announced that the SEC authorized charges against SBF. And that, of course, states that on December 13th of last year, the SEC filed charges against SBF again for, quote unquote, concealing his diversion of FTX customers' funds to crypto trading firm, you know it, Alameda Research, while raising more than $1.8 billion from investors. So it's nice to see that somebody, right, is at least going after this guy. And of course, BitBoy Crypto did that particular piece stating that he got off the hook. A lot of people were upset about this. Of course, I am. We all are, right? He shouldn't get a free pass. He shouldn't get a slap on the wrist. If there's still any justice in this nation, they need to go after this guy, right? So it's nice to see this. And of course, apparently this was handed out 2 days ago. If there's any particular updates, either I myself or even Mike or whoever, right? We'll definitely go ahead and share this. I thought it was quite interesting. Again, shout out to Mike Cornwell doing it big with the particular coverage. I'm going to get into one more I want to show you guys. And that is, give me just a second. It's actually, I'm going to kick it back into the comments and then we'll get into some of the quant coverage that we have for you. Anyway, let's get into it. I did see a super chat came. Let me just mark my spot real quick. And then I'll click it. Okay. I'm not far from it. Let me double check the other screen to make sure there's no other super chats that came in that I missed. All right. I did see any. So let's see here. Thanks for the $2 super chat, Mike. Max, click the link and open the Quartz thing up. Oh, okay. All right. My bad. Give me just a second. So let me pull that up away. I can pull it up. I might have, I don't know. Maybe I was trying to pull it up at the time and got distracted or something. Let me see. I had to pull that up again where you tagged me. Oh, you have another one. Huh. All right, just a second. Just a second. In regards to the Quartz, huh? Oh, boy. All right. That is not the one. Hold on. Here we go. I found it. All right. Let me share this in a way you can see it again. All right. So this is the one we were covering earlier. Click on the link. All right, my bad. Okay. So here it is. We were talking about this earlier. So it says, I believe you can see this. Let me just double check. Yeah. All right. So it says specifically Quartz decentralized solutions for enterprise and ecosystems. This is a PDF, but bear with me. It looks pretty good though. It says coexistence, integration, interoperability. We talked about some of this before, just briefly. If you want to know a quick overview about it, it says, we did read this part earlier. I'm sorry. I hate when I get distracted sometimes. Like just kind of, I lose my train of thought. Anyway, not you, Mike. Anyway, let me go further down. So it says coexistence, integration, interoperability. As we know, this is stuff that we already know in regards to blockchain. But in regards to Quartz specific, it says they have smart ledgers. It says Quartz solutions are targeting. Maybe I could blow this up a little bit more. Hold on a second. Yeah, I can. All right, maybe I'll just do right there. Maybe right there. All right, it says Quartz solutions are targeting, or I should say, are targeted at helping organizations across industries to leverage blockchain meaningfully for their businesses. They comprise the following. They have this thing called the Quartz Dev Kit, which kind of reminds me of an SDK, a smart contract development kit that enables the development of high-quality code for different mainstream blockchain technologies. They have the Quartz Gateway Command Center to enable seamless integration of existing applications with blockchain ecosystem and to facilitate their administration and governance. They have this thing called Quartz Smart Solutions designed for blockchain business solutions. Quartz Ledgers, off-the-shelf ledger structures, functions, and APIs for business processors across various domains to enable solutions to be quickly built around them. Let me see here real quick. I'm just trying to get some of the other ones. How about this? Right here, it says participants can provide, consume, and instruct these transactions on the ledger based on their role and privileges. Smart solutions are designed as a combination of on-chain services deployed on blockchain and off-chain services residing on traditional databases or files, thus ensuring that only business processes well suited for blockchain are deployed on-chain. So if anything, they're not just onboarding anything and everything. It sounds like it's, as the saying goes, quality over quantity. Some of these readily available smart solutions include reward points, contracting authorities, settlements, announcements, crypto services, loan securitization, facultative reinsurance, cross-border remittances, markets for tokenized assets, contract performing monitoring, resource management, and even KYC. Hold on a second. This thing with the ledgers, Quartz Ledgers, says that it basically comprises of predefined off-the-shelf ledger structures, data models, and on top of that, you have functions and APIs for business processors across industries. These are conceived as building blocks on top of which solutions can be developed and deployed seamlessly, thus enabling customers to implement decentralized solutions faster in an agile manner at scale. Okay. Now, if you're wondering about the dev kit, it's a low-code smart contract. It's intuitive, development kit is designed to help software developers introduce blockchain into their business processes. That sounds interesting. And generate, compile, package, and deploy business code on the blockchain. The Quartz dev kit also comprises a standard set of architectural features covering security, data, privacy, access controls, user data, audit trails, logging framework, etc. Here's a particular statement that kind of stands out. It states, using DevKit's pre-built components for platform setup, administration, deployment, platform security and authentication, encryption, and node, as well as identify the user management, programmers can write smart contracts 40% faster. That sounds like the key. I know I'm getting a lot of this off the surf and it's just, bringing off the page, giving it to you and so on. But that in itself sounds pretty interesting. That sounds like a great utility, right? Being able to write smart contracts 40% faster. That sounds pretty impressive. This enables organizations in targeting faster launch timeframes on blockchain. This can be further accelerated by combining Quartz smart ledgers. Without even looking into it more, I don't know. Is this something that technically could bring a little bit of competition to Quant? Possibly, because as we know, when it comes to Quant, with their operating system of Overledger, that was one of the key things, is to be able to scale it faster than anybody else is doing it. And then on top of that, like one of the things Gilbert Verdine was boasting quite a few times was to be able to do what? Take a particular blockchain project. Let's face it, it's going to take anywhere from 1 to 3 years to get something done. They mentioned the 3 lines of code. And then on top of that, be able to have particular projects done in 8 months. I remember seeing that mentioned quite a few times. So that part is interesting in itself, because I'd never seen anybody mention that we could write smart contracts 40% faster. And of course, I'm not saying that, Quant is narrowed down to just specifically smart contracts. We obviously know that that's not the case. There's a lot more to it here. Here's some of the things that are zoomed in that we saw on the other page. But look at this. So it says Quartz Command Center, some familiar names, existing systems, right? With the Quartz Gateway, Swift. You have off-chain GUI messaging. On top of that, it states that there's a Quartz dev kit. We just talked about that. There's that smart contract. You can do custom smart contracts, as you say. And then on top of that, look at this. Blockchain technologies, choice of platforms. You have Hyperledger, R3 Corda. We always talk about that. Even Ethereum, whether you're a fan of that or not. You have Quartz Command Center. You even have the Ripple network. So it's nice to see them, have this whole gateway with Ripple in itself. That's pretty big. And anyway, just going a little bit further down, there's a lot to it here. It's not like it's like a 20-page white paper or anything like this. Is more like it's called. It's a brochure. It says coexistence and interoperability. Of course, Quant always boasts interoperability. So it states coexistence and interoperability. Core solutions are built on this philosophy and can integrate with third-party solutions and various blockchain-based systems and networks. Integration. Quartz solutions are simple, lightweight, and can seamlessly bring together third-party solutions, legacy applications, right? Also, Quant does that. Messaging middleware. They can therefore reduce entry barriers to blockchain adoption by insulating connecting systems from the complexities of the underlying blockchain. Agile development and development framework. Quartz Dev Kit, along with the Quartz Foundation, can provide an agile framework for faster development and deployment of business applications on a choice of blockchain platforms. How about this, just before we wrap things up with this particular segment? Leveraging these architectural principles and using Quartz, your organization, right? This is, I guess you could say, the stuff that, if I was going to jump into this from an organization point of view, I would want to know, right? It says you can create decentralized architectures that can power business ecosystems, automate business processes and functions, of course, with smart contracts. I think one of the key things that stands out for them is just that smart contracts, right? From what we gathered so far. Eliminate data duplication and associated reconciliation issues. Ensure data integrity with cryptographic encryption of data, making it immutable. Restrict access, private permission ledger to ensure greater security. That's pretty impressive. How about this? I'll read this last one. Backed by awards from the Financial Technology Forum. Best blockchain breakthrough of the year back in 2019. And recognition from Analysts, Leader and star performer in Everest Peak Matrix course can help you operate at the forefront of technology innovation and spearhead blockchain adoption successfully with your enterprise and beyond. Sounds pretty darn impressive. And of course, there's some more awards and so on. I'm going to go ahead and kick it back into the comments. Thank you to Mr. Mike Cornwell for sharing this. And let me get back into the comments. All right. If anything, let's see where we're at. Hopefully I didn't miss something. And let's jump down. Thanks again for the $2 super chat, Mike. Open Mind states it's a Batman NFT from a company called Vive. They use a cryptocurrency called OMI. That's cool. Very cool. Oh my God, tied up. Oh wow, it is. Jeez. Interesting. What a Super Bowl. That's cool. I'm glad you guys are watching a good game. Very good game. Very cool. All right. Honorable. Yes. Yeah. Yes, Gensler should be held accountable and not honorable. All right. Let me go further down. And what is Quartz coin name? Is it QTZ? I don't happen to have it on hand. Maybe Mike Cornwell can provide that in a bit. I know you guys are probably multitasking. We'll get an update in a bit. We'll get that to you. This is something new that was brought to my attention. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and kick it back into our particular coverage. We have some quant for you. I want to go ahead and share this. Please hit the like if you haven't done so already. And if anything, here we go. So check this out. There's some particular statistics in regards to Quant. Did you know that the all-time low for Quant was August 23rd, 2018, 4 years ago at a little over 16 cents? Basically, that's at 81,050.81%, or 8,105x since then. Quant fam says some ISOs and utility tokens will be $100 plus in the near future. And the reason why I want to mainly point this out, not just because it's Quant, I want to state this. All right, and that is basically this. There's a reason why we put so much focus on these ISOs and so on, right? I mean, we talk about other particular coins and tokens, right? Like, technically speaking, Polygon, right? Polygon's part of the QFS and so on. It's not an ISO, but the thing is, what stands out with these ISOs is their utility and how we're seeing, if you base it on history, crazy increases potential moving forward, right? So I wanted to point that out to you. It says, not financial advice, diversify to preserve wealth. ISOs plus utility, 1 to 25%. Concentrate to build wealth. For instance, Quant, 75 to 99%. I believe it's going to be a lot higher than that. But I want to kick it also into this. And it says, from this particular person, interesting avatar, right? His name is Quantonius, the Quant Bull. That is quite the avatar, right? Guy's just like waking up or something. Got kind of ish face maybe the previous night from the Super Bowl. You never know. All right, it says, I'm really getting the feeling Quant Network is going to have something to do with the digital pound being discussed here by the Bank of England. Very exciting times ahead for future of finance. The reason why I point out this particular one is for months I've been stating this, literally, and we've been giving you guys an outline with lots of great research from Greg Lunt. Greg Lunt, I mean, if you're not following him, please do so, and especially if you're into Quant. He continuously does deep dives in regards to the use cases of Quant, drawing the particular connections about this whole thing with the digital pound, LAC chain down in Latin America, right? And even with what we're going to be developing here in the United States, apparently sooner than most people think, with for instance, a CBDC here. Sounds nuts, right? So here's a few of those particular examples, because some people are stating, no, it's only Ripple. It's only some of these other ones. There is no Quant connection. Just hear me out. Check this out. So if anything, I'm going to go ahead and copy this image just real quick. I want to show you guys this. And it's kind of a little bit blurry, so bear with me. But if anything, it states kind of like what you see on the top left. It says important statements from the Bank of England and HM Treasury today. Some of these things just kind of date back, but it's just multiple consistent dates. Bank of England today, the Bank of England and the HM Treasury back on February 7th. We did do a report on this on the deep dive. Have published a situation paper on the digital pound, a UK central bank digital currency. Bear with me, it's kind of blurry. And then, of course, every single time something would come out about this, you would see, for instance, an official article from Quant, right from the source, or right from the Digital Pound Foundation, or vice versa. Here's one on February 18th as a follow-up to what you see from the Bank of England. So, for instance, it states, banks around the world have begun issuing their own digital currency known as commercial stablecoins. The benefits are significant, as we know. Quant had a response to that, right? So it says commercial stablecoin issuance part 1, considerations and benefits. As we know, Gilbert Verdient is part of the Digital Pound Foundation. You also see on the far right here, I know it's kind of hard to see it because it's blurry. I blew it up a little bit. He was a member of the Bank of England from 2016 to 2018. He's had a lot of other particular backgrounds and experience, right? But I want to show you guys this, going back to it again. And hold on a second. So let me just blow this up. I would agree. Very exciting times ahead. It's because, if anything, you can draw your own conclusion. It's basically like connecting the dots, if you will. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I got a notification. It says XRP straight from KuCoin. XRP has become the most traded coin in the past hour at a current price of 37 cents. That's very interesting. All right. Straight from KuCoin. But anyway, I mean, again, a lot of times here at CTN, we want to connect the dots when it comes to a lot of this. Simply do your own research. If you haven't done so already, we try to help you out with a lot of this. Draw your own conclusions if you want. But it's nice to see some of this, right? Every single time something came out, there was a Quant reaction to this. All right. I want to show you a little bit more in regards to all this. And basically, is to kind of pound at home a little bit more of what I was talking about. And here it is. Shout out to Quant Papa. Basically, it states, all by luck and accident. Well, I don't think so. There's a lot more than just luck. So it states multi-ledger tokens, MLT minting, DLT stablecoins from fiat funds, for instance. Who's it for? Central banks, fintechs, trading consortia, et cetera, right? How does it work? Well, we know about how some of this stuff works, but check out what is mentioned. Examples. This Quant solution implements the IMS semi-decentralized model for central bank digital currency. There's a little bit more in regards to this. Look at these particular articles. A blast from the past, right? HSBC and IBM successfully test multi-ledger CBDC bond, and HSBC, one of the world's largest foreign exchange banks, and IBM, leading provider of consulting services, technology, et cetera, et cetera. And you have a follow-up with it, right? Cointelegraph, HSBC, IBM create successful multi-ledger CBDC demo, right? And then again, a little bit more in regards to all this. CoinSpeaker, HSBC and IBM conduct successful CBDC experiments on cross-cloud environment. Watch this. Then you get to some of all this, right? From data tracker. We always, for instance, track what's going on with somebody made a payment on, Etherscan or so on, to track that. Well, how about tracking some of what's actually happening in the world of CBDCs, right? Think about it. You go into this and you see in the code, HSBC/API.overledger. Overledger. What's Overledger? Think about it, guys. Quant's operating system. This is why we make such a big deal about some of this stuff, right? You see it again right here. Again, it's all about connecting the dots. On top of that, this multi-ledger tokens allow for changes of ownership between different enterprises, meaning that the transactions are recorded and restored basically through the entire life cycle. For example, Quant, boom, there it is. It's amazing when I see some people, I'm not, picking on any of our particular people, but I mean, people from the recorded section, they'll state there is no Quant connection. They'll say things like it's only Ripple. This furthermore, if anything, kind of pounds home what Sean was saying, right? CryptoSmith. It's not just one particular company doing it all. That is not the case. It's different organizations who are also part of this. So yesterday, I believe we gave you this particular video. You see on the top right about the Bank of International Settlements. I did more of a deep dive into it. But again, people sometimes want it in writing. Well, again, I'll pound this home again. There's your writing. There's the code. There's listed about Overledger. We blew it up for you. Even right here, for example, Quant's MLT technologies leveraged by the International Monetary Fund, etc., etc., etc. All right, let's kick it back into the comments. We do have some more coverage for you tonight on Super Bowl Sunday. The next segment will be XDC. And if anything, thank you for being here tonight. Please smash that like button if you haven't done so already. Cash Cats basically states that he wished he got Quant at 16 cents. Yeah, we all do. That'd be amazing. We all do. See? I mean, Brian Dowie in the house. Thank you. Damn Chiefs. Chiefs won. Really? I have to double check that. Let me see that. What a comeback, huh? Super. All right. Well, let's go ahead and play this for just a brief minute. I'll share this on the screen. And yeah. Where am I at? There we are. Let me play this. 57. Wow, amazing. Pretty cool. Looks like I missed a very good game, but one of those things. That must have been a heck of a game, heck of a come from behind win to pull that off. All right. Russell C says ETN is part of the Digital Pound Foundation, Electronium. They're also part of the QFS, the Quantum Financial System. So that's interesting as well. Welcome back, Russell C. Thanks for being here. Take you another one. Bullish one. XRP/Bank of America. That in itself sounds pretty bullish. All right. Let me just double check that I didn't miss any more comments. We'll go ahead and kick it into that. Give me just a second. All right, I found it. So, shout out to Crypto Mike yet again for providing the XRP coverage tonight. He says, man, they have banks all over the world. I don't think the USA is behind. I think they're loading the gun, and that's just one institution. Yeah, I mean, as the saying goes, when there's a new person, like a person at a party, right? Or a person at a meeting, always pay attention to the guy who doesn't do all the talking, but the guy who just sits there and observes, right? Something to be said about that, right? Is the United States basically doing that approach? That'd be kind of cool. All right, let's blow this up. So it says Bank of America, all right? And you have, for instance, U.S. and Canada, Asia Pacific, Europe, Middle East and Africa, Latin America. Look at this. Bank of America, Ripple.com, transfer the way you move, manage and tokenize value. I mean, I've seen on other particular, content creators doing research and so on. They said quite a few times, I think even Crypto Lulu mentioned this quite a bit, that Bank of America is basically ready to go as soon as the SEC win. God, no, not the SEC win. As soon as Ripple gets a win over the SEC, that would be huge, right? They're just want to talk about tapping into, that ODL. That would be where it would start, right? That'd be really, really cool. But But yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that. I think that very well could be the case. All right, so thanks to Crypto Mike. Let's go ahead and kick it back into the comments just for a bit. Larry says, welcome all. Thank you. McDizzle says, it's all coming together, folks. We are coming into the times I have been preaching about for a long time. Yes, you have. Yes, that is Ron Paul. I like Ron Paul. Hold on a second. Steven Towns, the Eagles quarterback fumbled. He is probably crying in a corner right now. Yeah, that's gotta suck. Good evening, Max and CTN fam. Good to see you, Mr. Watermelon Crypto Sugar High. Thanks for being here tonight. Anyone watch the Super Bowl today? Great game. I might have to watch like some of the highlights. At least I can do that. I might not have even regular TV, but at least I can do that. Didn't Brad say BOA is just waiting? BOA has been ready for a while. Okay. Or BOA. I don't know. All right. Let me go further down. And everyone's welcome, Crypto High. Thank you for that. Let's kick it into a little bit more coverage we have for you guys. We're going to kick it into XDC. So if you've been waiting for XDC, here you go. And here you go. So here it is. And this comes straight from XDC News. It says blockchain, the XDC blockchain beats Ethereum, providing near zero gas fee, supporting decentralized apps with EVM compatibility. Now, most of us, of course, already know about this, right? We're always talking about the TPS and, very, very cheap fees, right? The price, is it the price of a Luna Classic token or the price of a Shiba Inu? I can't remember. It's one or the other. But anyway, I went further into this, and I won't read everything verbatim, but this comes from Blockchain Reporter. It was posted 2 days ago. And of course, they talk specifically about this whole thing with transaction costs and so on. And it's a really cool outline that they have here, actually. I'm going to get right to some of the key highlights for you guys. And that is basically this. We understand that there's a lot of significance in regards to XDC's transaction fees, right? Even states it here. Significantly, the XDC network charges nearly $0, right? Not quite zero, but close to it, for transaction fees. And not only focuses on the transaction costs and speed, but provides solutions to different industries and sectors. Very, very true, right? We know about this whole thing about the trade sector. That's a big one for XDC. But did you know that, for instance, XDC functions on an EVM network which works on the same code that ETH employs? Hear me out. I think this is another reason why people state that XDC is the ETH killer. The intention of the Ethereum virtual machine, aka EVM, is to create more use cases for blockchain and cryptocurrency. As a matter of fact, EVM is a large virtual computer that allows blockchain-based applications to operate within it, like an application in the cloud. According to the following tweet, XDC imposes a gas fee of approximately, listen to this, oh my gosh, it's like, what's that, 1/1,000,000th dollar, one slash, I don't know what that is right now, dollars, implying that a transaction fee doesn't somehow exist. I'm just seeing a lot of zeros on the screen. It's just very, very cheap. But anyway, it says when doing business on XDC network, you simply don't care about transaction costs. It is non-existent. Well, it exists, but it's very, very dirt cheap, right? XDC is a EVM network, making it possible to deploy same code on the network as ETH uses. Now, when we get into some of this particular points I want to mention is you're going to see some of the things mentioned about proof of stake, so on and so forth, right? But look at this. It says XDC network is an open source and hybrid blockchain protocol that runs on delegated proof of stake. It's basically the XDPOS consensus algorithm. The network leverages democratic consensus and high transparency to give its users digitalization, tokenization, and rapid trade transactions. Consequently, XDC serves as the XinFin network's fuel token. It is employed for operating smart contracts and even paying transaction fees, much like how basically ETH is set up. On top of that, when we go further down, because I don't want to just elaborate too long on just the low gas fees. As we know, there's quite a few limitations in regards to ETH. Slow, it's dated, et cetera, right? But when it comes to XDC, they are exhibiting to fill in the challenges by providing, listen to this, the best solutions, notably in terms of transactions, costs, and speed. The major factors that seem attractive to use XDC are quick trade transactions, highly secured, nearly zero gas fees. Of course, we know about the 2000 TPS. Thus, XDC network is a growing blockchain that is also EVM compatible, enticing ETH devs and dApps to switch to XDC. That's one of the key things I want to mention to you guys tonight. We have stated for many months now, right? And credit to, of course, the guys that originally introduced us to the likes of XDC. You know who you are. But we've been stated for many, many months now that once word gets out, especially when it comes to organizations, I even mentioned this on the show yesterday. Let's face it, some guys in business, they're not exactly dumb people. They have done some of the research. And if they haven't done some of the research, depending on how wealthy they are, right, they might have assistants. They have somebody on their team that is paid to do the research. And if they're doing the proper research and getting paid what they should be getting paid, then you better believe your sweet ants, you know what, that somebody is going to get the memo and say, you know what, man, we need to switch from this ETH garbage to this. It's a lot more efficient, a lot more effective, military grade blockchain, et cetera, et cetera. That's a key thing. And once this happens, all right, I want to point this out. I'm not going to say it's going to be like as disastrous as the likes of Terra, right, where you have a bunch of those particular developers leave and go to different blockchains. But once this starts becoming starts snowballing, if you will, I think you will start seeing more and more solid projects that were originally built on, for instance, ETH, join XDC, and that is crucial in itself. It's something about a ship going down, if you will, and those who choose to no longer go down with the ship, if anything, get on board for something more better, more secure, faster, and so on. I've always mentioned this in the past too, and that is if you have a really, really good ecosystem being utilized, that could be huge for that particular blockchain asset, you name it, because you want to bring in more you want to bring in more volume. And of course, having more and more projects on that particular blockchain is always a good thing. So it says when a user engages in a transaction or interacts with smart contract, a crypto transaction fee is incurred. There are networks that offer minimal fees, I should say, while others charge hefty fees. And it all depends on certain elements of the respective blockchain. XDC ensures to provide a transaction fee close to not even hardly anything, fractions of a dollar or a penny, without compromising any factors, like I mentioned, like price of a Luna Classic or a Shiba Inu. Now listen to this. We're always talking about tokenization here at CTN, right? Especially when it comes to LCX. Well, did you know XDC network provides no code tokenization, namely Origin, that helps creating tokens for any particular crypto project without any knowledge of coding. What's another one that stands out about not having hardly any knowledge of coding, or basically 3 lines of code? Quant, right? There's a reason why we love to point out these particular projects to you guys, to keep you more informed and have you understand these are the ones that are innovative, and these are the ones that we feel as though are the future. It's not trying to create a bunch of hype. It's simply doing research to further back up the thesis of what you see here, right? It's more than coincidence. This leads to faster adoption because the network is growing its ecosystem, kind of like what I mentioned. Due to its easy-to-use structure and multiple advantages of the network lead to more than 11,000 XRC20 tokens deployed on XDC network as per the data of the particular network. I've said it before with XDC, even just now, and in the past, anything that has A thriving ecosystem is going to be huge. This is why I put so much emphasis when people ask me about Luna Classic. I say to them, yeah, it's great that we want to get some burns, right? We totally need to get that happening. I think Boomer F and Sooner, if I'm not mistaken, mentioned the whole thing of like, if we don't have something dramatically change, it's going to take like 92 years to burn that supply. I don't know if that's the case. I have to double check that. But if you have a thriving ecosystem, that's simply, come on, it's not rocket science. More volume comes into that particular ecosystem. Unlike, of course, Luna Classic, and that's not making fun in Luna Classic. I mean, I hold a pretty decent amount of Luna Classic. I believe I'm about $4,400 invested into Luna Classic. So I'm rooting for it just as much as anybody. But my thing is this, XDC is already doing it big. And with more and more adoption and more use cases, with all you seeing right here, it just further solidifies how awesome XDC is. And when I state that I feel as though that this is something that is incredibly undervalued, I cannot pound that home enough. And how we basically know that is, for instance, I'm going to show you guys this real quick before I kick it back into the comments, is the particular price of XDC. We're just going to double check on that real quick. I mean, even though it's slightly up, it's incredibly cheap. It's very, very overlooked and undervalued. So it's back to rank 100. Everybody's talking about, hey man, let's take a look at the top 100. Here it is, incredibly undervalued. It's hovering above 2.5 cents. You see it right now. The volume's slightly up, but if anything, if you look at the last year, I mean, if let's face it, this right here is basically Terra Luna. Remember 5/12, basically my birthday, right? And then everything changed after this moment. But after that particular moment, I mean, it's been pretty consistent since last summer of where we're at, roughly, 2.5, approaching 3 cents, that particular area. And if you think about it, I mean, that's what? I mean, close to 9 months. So the reason why I point out the whole thing about sideways consolidation, it's actually a good thing. And I believe it's just a matter of time before this pops off. Combine that with some of the news that we may get very well here soon for March, especially with the ISO mandate and so on. Let's face it, if we get a victory for Ripple, you better believe some of these other ones will be affected. All right. Of course, Stellar should, pump well with Ripple. But if anything, I think also XDC and some of these other ISOs follow it as well. All right, let's kick it back into the comments. Thanks for being here tonight. And hopefully you all had a great Super Bowl Sunday for the most part. Let's see here. We got Michael Montclair. What's up, family? Good to see you, Michael Montclair. Here's a dab for you. Glad the Eagles didn't win. LOL, says Mr. Lambo's Crypto Talk. Good to see you, Mr. Lambos. My lovely fiance is flying Tuesday. She's flying in. Wish me congratulations. Cool, man. Very cool. All right. JP Morgan Chase GBEX card coming soon. Nice. Tim Shea says, Brian, did you see Sean Payton remove the B in Broncos and added G for Gronkos? Tagged Gronk. Oh, he tagged Rob Gronkowski. Interesting. All right, let's go further down. No proof, just assuming. Oh, okay. That's all right. We know JP Morgan loves him some XDC. Yeah. All right, let's go further down. Tim, that would be cool if Gronk comes back. Should help Wilson. All right. That's what Bree said, that Russell will hit prime with Peyton. All right, Cool Cat states, Luna Classic is a lost cause. Why I traded it a while back. Oh, okay. Sean Reynolds, do you believe there will be a Valentine's Day massacre in the markets? The 14th, 15th after the Fed meeting. I don't know. My thing is this, and I'm of course finally going to come up with an update for the bull run thesis here soon. I think it's paused, but yeah, it's a lot of things could happen. They could come out with some crazy doom and gloom, and the whole market could tank. So that's a reality. Yeah, St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Who knows? All right, Blackwood's back. Welcome. He says, evening, everyone. And let's see here. Sean says, peace. Did I miss somebody? Oh, you're referring to Sean Payton. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, my buddy, he was a huge Arizona Cardinals fan. He was hoping that Sean Payton would have came to Arizona, but I guess shout out to Tim Shea. All right. Bruce Wadowski. How's your dad? A Big Lebowski. Oh, he's doing all right. He's just, taking quite a bit of time to heal at his age, 88 and so on. So, but thank you for that. It's just constantly having to change, the wound care having to come. And then over the weekends, I got to do it as well and change out his wounds. So it's time consuming, but that's okay. But it's good to see you, Bruce. Isn't Grant like 50? All right, let me see. Just check 33. Praise for Dad's Max's dad. Yeah, man. And same for you and your family. Larry, thank you for that. Let me go ahead and highlight that. Let's go ahead and kick it back into our news coverage. I like that particular one about XDC. I like the idea that you're seeing more and more different, I guess you could say blockchain journalists. Is that what we should call them? Cover this. I don't know if they're being paid by XDC or anything. I don't think so. But, I mean, it's nice to see some coverage other than just, community-driven news from like crypto Twitter. This actually came from Blockchain Reporter. So, yeah, I guess you can say they're blockchain journalists. I mean, literally called Blockchain Reporter. All right, so we have some LCX for you guys. If you're wondering, like, what happened to all the Liechtenstein information? Well, we got that for you. Let's go ahead and get into it. And here it is. This comes straight from LCX this time, even though it's posted on crypto Twitter. So it says users can visit CoinMarketCap to get an overview of the LCX token, including historical data and market performance. We will jump to CMC here in a bit. Right? It says to trade the LCX token, you can visit exchange.lcx.com/trade/LCX_EUR if you choose to do so. There's a little bit more that they posted here, and it kind of I almost overlooked it. So I want to scroll down and show you this. It states LCX.Quant. Actually, this is not from them, but this is from another guy who's a fan of both, which is cool. He states, also for anyone wondering, listen to this, guys, the burning mechanism in regards to LCX was halted to expand into the U.S. market and beyond. Initially, the total /max supply was 1 billion, but the current the current total /max supply is 950 million, while the circulating supply is around 750 million. Now I have to double check that, but that in itself sounds pretty interesting. I wanted to share that with you guys. So we're going to take you straight to the CMC listing because apparently they had a little bit of updates in there. And I don't know if you guys ever do this. I do it. Like the other day I did with BSV. But sometimes you could just go right to CMC, for instance, and you can basically just kind of browse through here. Of course, there's so much info for you, but if you're like not wanting to go right to the website, you can just go to this particular area, and right below where it says live data, there's usually a description about the particular project. Now the Liechtenstein exchange, right, maybe Monty Metzger and crew, basically they're pointing us right to here for a particular update. So maybe they reworded it, maybe they added some things, we'll never know specifically, but here it is. And it gives you an idea about just that, LCX. So I'm going to just point out a few key things here. You may be new to LCX, maybe not, but whatever the case, listen to this. It says LCX is a secure, compliant platform for buying, selling, transferring, and storing digital currency. The Liechtenstein Crypto Assets Exchange, if you didn't know, was founded in 2018 in Vaduz, Liechtenstein. Offices in Crypto Valley, Zug, Switzerland, New Delhi, India, Chicago, et cetera. They have obtained 8 crypto-related registrations. I believe it's up to 9 now. Maybe they need to fix that. But by the Financial Market Authority of Liechtenstein operates in accordance with the new blockchain laws and has introduced a comprehensive crypto compliance suite. LGX AG, the legal entity behind LCX.com, has registered a share capital of, listen, as 1 million CHF. They're also a proud member of, yeah, I know, the World Economic Forum. And here's something that gets brought up quite a bit, right? The fourth industrial revolution, and has been named blockchain pioneer by the Blockchain Research Institute of Canada. They're also part of the advisory board of LCX. The advisory board of LCX includes leading thought leader Don Tascott, some of these other people that you see here. How about this? Jimmy Wales of Wikipedia. That is a very recognizable name, at least for me, because I don't cite Wikipedia because, for instance, if you're going to college, you're not supposed to cite Wikipedia, but it's a good reference for information, right? But Jimmy Wales, founder of Wikipedia, that's pretty cool. And then some of these other guys, right? And then on top of that, they have more information about the terminals, the original ICO. And then if you're wondering about what the heck the LCX token does, well, here it is. It says it's the fuel of the LCX platform and LCX cryptocurrency exchange. The LCX token works as a long-term sustainable incentive mechanism to motivate various stakeholders to participate in their ecosystem. That's pretty darn cool. LCX token is an exchange-based utility token which grants all users a reduction of up to 50% trading fees at LCX's compliant digital asset exchange and many more benefits. Sounds all great, right? But let's face it, if you're going to be an American using it directly on their exchange, so you're going to run into some problems probably. But we'll see what happens here in the future. This thing was pumping the last few days, and it's finally kind of tapered out, sitting at a little over 12 cents. Glad to bring that to you. Let's kick it back into the comments. Thanks for being here tonight at CTN. I did see a super chat came in. I'm going to go ahead and recognize Salamander XDC Commander states, please buy more XDC, Quant, LCX, XRP, Flare, Casper, HBAR, XLM, and Algo. Yes, I would totally agree with that. I need to buy more XDC. I already have XDC, but I'm not satisfied with the amount I have. I'm never going to be satisfied with the amount of Quant. Is anyone ever really satisfied with the amount of Quant they have? Even people that have over 20 Quant, are they really satisfied with that? But anyway, I need to get into LCX. I still haven't gotten into it yet. I'm trying to find the right point. The other day, I missed it. It was around 9 cents. For a lot of you guys, it came in at 3-4 cents. I mean, shout out to you, man. I mean, you definitely did a good job on getting bottom. But yeah, I mean, technically speaking, I am satisfied with the amount of XRP I hold, but wouldn't mind stacking some more. Wouldn't mind getting an entry point to Flare. I need to get Casper. I feel like I don't want my Casper to turn into like how LCX is, where it's getting a little bit away from me. I do want more HBAR. Even though I doubled my position on XLM, I could probably go for some more XLM. And even Algo, wouldn't mind picking up some more, but maybe I just start stacking more on XRP, XDC, Quant, and even HBAR and XLM. So thank you for that $5 super chat, Salamander. Appreciate it, man. Glad to have you here tonight. And I saw you in the comments on the record as well. So thank you for helping out with the algorithm by posting there. We had 2 particular updates today that was posted there. It was Casper, and of course was XDC. All right. So we have Crypto Smith in the house. You're gonna want to tune in tomorrow. We have a nice special for you in regards to utility talk now. We're gonna try our best to have, like, I guess you could say, not your typical thing here, but not to the point where it just ruins the show, but like an actual conversation, if you will, with 2 guys about some of the hot topics that are happening. I could give it away too much. You'll have to wait and find out. That's tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. If you haven't done so already, please go and subscribe to my Monday co-host, who is Sean the Crypto Smith. Pull up his particular page, and here it is. Yes, he is ticking up, which is cool to see. He's at 1.57K subs, and yeah, go on over there, type in the space Crypto Smith, all one word on the Crypto Smith. So the space Crypto Smith. And he does cover, for instance, Cypherium, XRP, XLM, MMI, a few of these other ones. He's recently did a video 2 days ago. It says, years of building to be the king. Cypherium is creating partnerships on the world stage. On top of that, he talked about the whole thing that happened with Kraken. It's the Bank of England using XRP, not so fast. We'll have to maybe have a little bit of discussion in regards to that. And if anything, he likes to cover quite a few different ones. I'm always most interested, of course, when he covers Cypherium, XRP, and XLM. So yes, it'd be kind of cool to see this maybe tick up to 1.58K. Maybe we'll refresh that in a bit and see how we did. All right. So thanks for being here, Sean. And Larry has an update for us. He says, prayers for my dad. He's going to get surgery on his kidney on the 14th. Yes, definitely prayers for Larry's dad. Hopefully that goes well. A lot of things going on the 14th. All right. Let's see. But yeah, everybody's saying hello to Cash Cats and so on. Lichtenstein, my BSV. All right. Thank you again for the $5 super chat, Mr. Salamander XTC Commander. All right, you guys getting the algorithm going. Thank you very much. Taking a great big gorilla poo on the SEC. Cool Cat states, is it just me or is every crypto in the space partnered with everything on Earth? Kind of seems that way, don't it? Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. I try to keep things kind of neutral, but I'm not exactly a big fan of her either. Anyway, Cool Cat Crypto, my favorite project is partnered with my cat. Yeah. All right. Well, there was that one guy. Remember? I forgot the guy's name. He came from Archie Neko. Remember that? You guys here for the Archie Neko thing? Is that even still around? And he's just like, remember my Archie, Well, what happened with the whole Archie Neko thing? What started it? Well, I used to have a cat named Archie, and he was sitting on top of my recliner, and somebody accidentally sat on him, and he's such a wonderful cat, and so we're gonna tokenize him. Everybody gonna remember my Archie. It's like, really? Your cat's dead? I got him taxidermied. Wow. All right. I had to double check that project is even still around. That got Neko. Is that even around? Archie Neko. I don't even know if it is. Archie Neko is not even ranked. Oh God. 8,914. Oh, geez. Okay. I don't know. Maybe they went to a V2, but something fishy's going on. They even have a website anymore. Let's see. Website's not loading up. Not loading up. Can't be reached. Oh, God. I know we're kind of getting off track, but I kind of wonder about some of these guys, All right, their Twitter. They didn't even have a Twitter. They still have a Twitter. They posted something 2 hours ago. They have an AMA coming up. I don't know. So I guess maybe they changed their website to archiecoin.io. Huh. All right. Well, good luck to them. All right. So hold on a second. What is a good amount of Quant to hold? I would say it depends, of course, on your goals. So you believe that Quant is going to go over 100,000 per coin by, I don't know, way out in, many years from now and so on. Then I would say 10 Quant, right? If your goal is you want to be a Quant millionaire because you see it going over at least $10,000 here soon with the next few years, that'd be 100 Quant. So it all depends on your particular goals. If you're one of those type of people, you're like, you know what, Quant, I'm so sold on Quant. it's going to be the first $1 million, $1 million coin ever by 2030, like I've stated in the past, then maybe all you need is one quant. So it just all depends on how fast or how long you're willing to be patient in regards to that. All right, who is ever satisfied with their bag, Max? Not I. Yeah, I'm never satisfied with my bag of quant. I mean, shout out to Lenoir. If he happens to be watching, he hooked me up with one full quant because he appreciated the coverage that we bring and the research. That was super nice of him. He said he was going to do it in the past, but I never pressed him on it. I never was the type of guy like, bugging him about it and so on. And then it finally happened. I think it was yesterday. It was either yesterday or the day before. He asked, I think it was yesterday. He asked for, my particular address. And he sent it, and it was right there on KuCoin. You received one full quant. I was like, oh yeah, did the dance. Anyway, that was super nice. I've never had anybody do anything like that. That was pretty awesome. All right. My Doge is partnered with Elon. All right, let me go further down. Hey, Honest Ape, 10 quant is a great start. Yeah, welcome back, Honest Ape. I didn't mean to dismiss you. Welcome back. Here we go. The salamander busting out his own particular emoji. Hopefully you start using that particular one more often. And it says XTC baby, 6-hour show tomorrow. 6-hour show tomorrow? Oh boy. My XTC is partnered with Pablo Escobar. That would be interesting. 24-hour show when we become millionaires. Well, maybe, because if anything, Larry's dream of developing a network, I guess we would have the money to make a 24-hour, crypto news station. It ain't going to be me on 24 hours, I'll tell you that much. No way. Hey, here's an old familiar face. Daniel, don't call me Carlos Delgado is in the house. Good to see you, Daniel. No, Max, is never enough unless I could rewind 16 to reach 16 cents. Hello, good evening, CTN community. Man, can you imagine somebody buying Quant at 16 cents? Let's just say it was 17. Let's just round it, or heck, how about 20? We'll just do 20 cents, make it nice and even. So 20 cents, and they bought, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, something odd. I mean, can you imagine buying like 10,000 quant for 2,000, or if it was 16 cents and some change? What would that be? $3,200. You buy 20,000 quant, and you have 20,000 quant, and you reach the 10,000 per quant goal. God, $200 million worth of quant. Whoever did that. Wow. Anyway, excuse me. But welcome, Daniel. Good to see you, man. Hopefully all is well with you, Mr. Delgado. Cashcast Salamander Party live stream. Yeah, definitely. I'll tell you one thing, all right? I'm not going to mention who this guy is, but recently there's a particular individual who was doing a live stream. I went there and I said, there was only like 5 people there, right? And this is a very, very popular YouTuber. Again, I'm not going to mention the name. And that is, he was doing a live stream trying to shill some new, I hate to say it, bullcrap coin. And I was like, come on, man, again? So I went there and I said, hey, man, I said, I used to have a lot of respect for you. I didn't do it with, CTN account. It was with one of my other accounts. And I said, I used to have a lot of respect for you. I said, so I said, please take this as a constructive criticism. I said, why is it that you guys keep shilling new particular coins and tokens? I understand that I should do my own research. Don't get me wrong, but you got paid to promote, I hate to say it, some of this crap that's not here anymore. And you did it multiple times. And on a few of these, you couldn't even let me know about the V2, And so, you know what happened immediately? They put me in timeout. So I came out with another particular account. they put me in timeout. They didn't appreciate my constructive feedback. I never cussed them out, never try to act rude. I just said, can't you at least update us on a V2? That's it. You're paid to do this. You can't, you can't put something out in a video about a V2. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, so if anything, guys, yeah, I'm looking really forward to having a party on the live stream in the future. Because you know what, we're into some good solid ones with utility, not some crap where we have to go to a poo coin and see what's going on here, and this guy don't even have a website and all this stupid nonsense, and hey, buy into this particular token. Why would I want to buy into that token when I could basically buy a whole bunch of XDC? It's got a solid ecosystem. So just come on, really think about it. All right. But yes, good evening to you, Daniel Delgado. Good evening, CTN community. All right, Cash Cat Summoner is a party license. Okay, I said that before. Sorry. CPS is very much like XRP. Ready to go. Prayers for your dad, Larry. Yes. Yeah, I mean, and this guy from that one project, he was tagging Larry and I, basically calling us clowns and stuff. And I just didn't even recognize it, because you know what? He had 2 people respond to his and liked what he posted, and guess what they were? They weren't even real people. They were freaking bots. So I'm like, I am not even going to give this guy. He wants to have a platform. I think he still has it pinned to his profile as we speak, but he doesn't have hardly any followers. No one's paying attention. So why should I go there and throw, I should say a fit, but been like, you know what, man? You got it inaccurate. And technically speaking, when he came here a few days ago, I never once basically said that, his project was really, a scam and stuff like that. But then he posted, he was just like, oh, you guys think my project is a scam. It's like, you're really defensive, aren't you? It's like, come on, man. You got a 20% score on token sniffer. Oh, anybody that's done proper research doesn't use token stuff. Please. All right. Let's go further down and welcome a few more people. Rayan says, good night, guys. So he's basically in and he is out. Now, good to see you, Rayan. And let's see here. Are you still alive? Yes, we're still alive. How do you buy Cypherium? I think you get on MEXC, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right? Let's see. Let's double check that real quick. Let's go ahead and share the screen. And as Larry would say, we have 41 wonderful, beautiful people here tonight. Here's some Archie Neko. This chart is looking absolutely amazing. Granted, it could be going to a V2. And if anything, yes, according to Go Plus Labs, smart contract, the following asset can be modified by the contract creator, disabling, selling, changing fees, suspending trading, transfer tokens. Please exercise caution before taking any action and do your own research. Currently ranked 8,914 with a lovely, amazing looking chart of this. So yeah, it must obviously be going to like a V2 or something, but I don't know. I mean, come on. I don't even know what to say about this. All-time high for Archie Neko. All right, enough about Archie Neko. All right, yeah, Cypherium. My bad. All right, here's Cypherium. Had a little bit of a dip. Oh, a lot of dips. So people definitely took their profits. So it's 14% down. Maybe this will finally be a good entry point for moi. All right. So your question was, where can you get this? Here's the thing, though. I mean, even with this, I mean, I'm not flooding Cypherium, but somebody else mentioned something about like manipulation. I mean, those are just not. That's not natural, really looking. But I still think there's great potential here. I'm just saying. I got pointing stuff out. All right. You can get this. Yeah. Okay, I was right. MEXC. That's the only place. The XT.com. But to be honest, guys, I don't recommend XT.com. I mean, I just don't. But I've heard good things about MEXC. So you can get off MEXC. It doesn't have any decentralized exchanges to get off on. See, 0. So there you go. All right. Glad to share that. Let's kick it back to the news coverage briefly, and then we'll get back into the comments afterwards. So we covered a little bit in regards to Liechtenstein. Here's something I want to do for you guys. And if anything, I thought this was really, really cool. And it's basically a guy that I have come to respect. And basically, I look at him as being like the smartest guy in crypto. And that's Dr. Lehman Baird of, he's a scientist, right? He's the guy who invented, if I'm not mistaken, hashgraph, right? And I've gone ahead and found this on YouTube. So it comes straight from Hedera, so it's not like, I'm doing anything bad. But it says the 5 consensus algorithms, proof of work by Dr. Lehman Baird. This is only 3 minutes, but man, listen to what he has to state, and then we'll come back. A little bit different approach tonight on the HBAR coverage. As you guys know, here at CTN, we like to also provide you guys some educational content. If you're not engaged with what Dr. Lehman Baird has to tell you, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, we're going to start this, and then we'll be back here in a bit.
Some DLTs are based on proof of work. Proof of work is the idea of using a supercomputer, a mining rig that's expensive, to burn lots of electricity, which is expensive, in order to solve a math problem that's totally useless to humanity. But the purpose is to slow you down so that at slower intervals, a miner will solve the problem and be able to add a new block to the chain. And so the blocks come in slowly. Now, occasionally 2 people add a block at the same time, which is a fork. That's a bad thing. And then the community as a whole has to come to an agreement on which of these 2 do we increase and which one do we ignore. And it takes a little while for them to decide which one to continue with and which one to basically chop off. Because it takes a while, we need to make sure they don't start forking too fast. If you forked too fast, you wouldn't be able to chop them off as fast as they're appearing. And that's the reason for the proof of work. The purpose of proof of work is to make you run more slowly so that the community will have time to deal with these forks before the next fork happens. Of course, if the whole point of it is to make us run more slowly, the result is we run more slowly. And we're wasting resources, and the resources are expensive, which means that we will tend to have consolidation of miners down to the few people who can afford the equipment, and consolidation of geography down to the places where electricity is cheap. There are also security problems. What if there is a firewall around a good portion of our people? The firewall is run by maybe someone malicious who decides to turn off the firewall, partitioning us. Could we end up with 2 different chains? Or maliciously manipulates the firewall, turning it on and off in some disruptive way, or letting some packets through and not others? Could we end up with different consensus on each side, 6 confirmations on each side, and then a double spin wouldn't be caught? Or what about fairness? What if you're trying to do something like a stock market where the ordering of the transactions matters? Well, with proof of work, whatever miner puts the transactions in that block can put them in any order that they want, and they can leave some out if they want. And maybe you could bribe them to leave out your rival's transactions. So we don't really have fairness of ordering or fairness of access or even fairness of timestamps. The miner puts a timestamp on the block, but maybe they're lying, or maybe their clock is wrong. You don't really have the whole community weighing in on what time the timestamp should be. So we have some difficulties with firewall attacks. We have some difficulties with fairness of access and ordering and of the timestamps. And then we have the expense and inefficiency of doing the wasted time. But it does work, and it does allow us to have a single chain that whenever it forks, we quickly chop off the forks, and then the chain goes back to being a chain. And that is the proof of work DLT technology.
All right. So, I mean, I understand this is nothing like really groundbreaking or anything like that, but it's interesting, especially for those who might not know about these particular things and so on. I also want to go ahead and share a little bit more of what we have for you here tonight. And I believe it is a little bit more of HBAR. We'll get into that in just a bit. We're going to kick it back in the comments because we do have, for instance, quite a few more people have commented, which is cool. It's always a good thing. So welcome. If you haven't been here before, I'd like to welcome you. Consider changing your avatar to something that speaks more about who you are and what you're about. We have a very welcoming community. But yeah, drop any comments, questions, and we'll get ready to them. Mexi for Cypherium, yes. All right. CryptoSmith says, yes, Tim, Quorum is on his radar, another layer 1 DeFi blockchain. All right. You guys are kicking in the algorithm. Thank you for that. Do you think we will be able to use Quant as collateral for loans? Maybe in the future. I don't know. And it also depends on the licensing. There's a lot of things that might change in the future. So I cannot answer that. All right, let me go further down. Cash Cats. Oh, hello to Cash Cats. Yes. River, thanks for being here. He feels lucky to have 2 Quant. Nice. I'm not to my goals yet. My new goals are 20 Quant. And then from there, I'll probably have even more newer goals. I don't know. You just start accumulating quorum. I know it's focused towards Quant. Sean, yeah, focused towards Quant. Yeah, hey, Gilbert Verdian. No, I'm kidding. All right, let's go further down. McCorum says, cool cat. All right, let me see. Star-Lord says, you missed that Elon was shown at the Super Bowl and he was wearing a Doge shirt. Doge was wearing a cowboy hat. Oh, that's interesting. You know what? Did the market have reflection based on it? So that, I guess you could say that was the only, right? That was the only crypto ad, right? Technically speaking. Let's see what happened. It did Doge pump at all in reference to that. It did not. In fact, it went down a little bit. That's funny. But then again, you know, remember the whole thing with Saturday Night Live? Was it like April or something like that? Maybe May 2021. Everyone was like, oh, it's going to pump. He went on there. They asked him something like, so, you know, Doge is basically just a hustle. And he's like, yeah, it's just pretty much like a hustle. And then, boom, tanked. All right. Let me see where we're at again. Let me see. Yeah, it's a lot better than 0 Quant. I totally agree. All right. Just 10 Quant, wait till 2028. That's a good point. Blackwood, I don't own any Quorum yet, but thanks for the heads up. Elon wants to sit next to I did see that part. I did see that he was sitting next to Rupert Murdoch. Interesting. Rand, but before that, get 5K XLM. I basically just saw like on a picture. I didn't really, you know, whatever I get is just, you know, random clips on the internet and stuff like that. Rand, but before that, get 5K XLM, 5K HBAR, XLM, 5K XDC, 5K, and 100 Filecoin you can enjoy before Quant will make you rich. Good point. Excuse me. Blackwood, they have Core and Quorum both. All right, let me go further down. This is why I like your channel so much, Max. Shilling channels are garbage. Yeah, I mean, my thing is this. I mean, you know, it's don't people have a conscience? You know, it's just like there's people going to literally buy a lot of this crap because they don't know anything about crypto. I don't know. It's just, that's the sad thing about it, right? And if you're going to shill this stuff, can't you? I mean, you really got paid. How you trying to tell me you can't put together like a 2-minute video or a 5-minute video, something like in that range, letting people know about the V2? Oh, well, let's post it on our Discord. Okay. What if people don't want to go on your Discord? Well, it's part of you doing your own research. Okay. You got paid for this. Yeah. I mean, it don't take that much, you know? And it's, especially some of these guys that have well over 100,000 subscribers. You're trying to tell me that you can't get like somebody to kind of help you keep up with some of this stuff? Please. If anything, I mean, even I myself, like I have a portfolio manager, not a person, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's just CMC, you know. I am really thinking about switching over to Merlin though. That's very, very impressive. I might just pay for it because it's a paid thing. Shout out to Johnny Crypto of 3T Warriors Academy. But yeah, I mean, there's so many things you keep up on. or just simply, go old school. You write notes, right? And reminders or whatever, hey, I promoted this to this, to the community or to everybody. Maybe you don't care about the community, on this particular date. All right, I need to do a follow-up. Come on, especially some of these guys. I mean, they get paid in ETH. They don't get paid like, in stable coin. They just get paid flat out like, hey, for me to do this particular AMA, I need, I know it sounds crazy, but like some of these guys, it's like, anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000 in ETH. So, all right, let's just say it was $5,000 in ETH. You trying to tell me you can't do a 2 to 5 minute updated video letting people know, hey guys, by this particular date, this particular crap coin is going to do a V2. And if you don't migrate your coins, if they were on like the likes of, Bitmart, you got them on Uniswap, you have to migrate them. Otherwise, they're going to become worthless because they're going to be used for the liquidity when it's moved over to the new token contract. Okay, no big deal. Put out a freaking video. You don't have time to do that? Then you are pathetic and you're a piece of crap. Sorry. All right, let's go further down. Sean Reynolds, part 1. If LCX hits $5 to $25, this entry point will still be amazing. Market psychology for all of us. If we want at the lowest, LOL, but we are getting left behind on coins. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like a lot of you guys, sorry, I got something in my eye. A lot of you guys, right? Not saying you specifically, but a lot of you guys came into LCX, I don't know, 3-4 cents, maybe lower. For me, it's like, yeah, I missed it on one. I missed it on a couple. I missed it on Bone. I missed it on, LCX. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I still recognize there's still huge opportunity for LCX. Maybe I still get into Bone. I had to double check what Tim Shea was telling me about because, technically speaking, I should have some rewards. I forgot about that in Bone for having my SHIB/Klekai crap coin pairing, right? Not SHIB as being crap, but Klekai is crap. I'll be honest. Don't FUD my Klekai. Well, I'm FUD in my own bag, I guess. I'm not wild on it. I think it's garbage. But, the game is okay. I mean, it's decent, I guess. All right, part 2. We wait for them to blow up, then pull back. An example, H-bar. Hopefully, Jasmine risk to reward will be worth the long run. I think it will be. I really, really think it will be. I'm coming out with a couple updated videos. Jasmine's a big hit for us. Every time we put out a Jasmine video, it gets over 1,000 views or more. Good response to it. So it's a niche market. Anyway, hopefully Jasmine risk reward be worth it in the long run. I think once Casper is supported by Cobalt, more people will buy into it. Very good point. CPH took a hit today. Maybe I read some of this again. Blackwood. There's Blackwood. My bad. Thanks for the answers. You're very welcome. H-bar, the only one going up lately. It's called Orphaning. Oh, you're talking about that video I was showing you. Yeah. And it's super easy. Yeah, it's no big thing, but I mean, I just like he basically does a lecture on and talks. He's just brilliant. Very, very brilliant. And if I'm investing in some of these ones, why wouldn't I want to hear more from somebody like that? Blackwood says, I still remember the gaming and mining communities at each other's throats a few years ago. Yeah, I remember it too. I remember it was such a big deal at the time to have one of these new RTX cars. I believe it was like, was it the 2080 Super? And then, of course, it went from it was a big deal to go from that to, like a 3080, 3090. Now you got 4080s, 4090s. The darn cars are so darn big that even your full-size tower might not be able to fit it. And these cards cost like what, $6,000 just for a video card. I mean, it's overkill, but some people want them. I want one. I'll be honest. But anyway, that dude has circles around his eyes. I have circles around my eyes. Sleep apnea. Not from lack of sleep. It's just, basically whatever amount of sleep I do get, I don't get up and feel rested. It's a problem. But I'm actually thinking it has more to do with my wisdom teeth. I got to get those pulled. Well, why don't you get your wisdom teeth pulled, Max? Got to buy me some more crypto before March. Yeah. See, I'm not kidding. That's the way I look at it. Not financial advice. That's just advice for Maximus himself. Thank you very much. All right. I was laughing because I saw it and was like, to the moon. Then I went on to buy Doge and my thumbs typed Quant and bought that instead. Well, good. That's good. That's actually really good. All right. If you had to choose XLM or XRP or XDC or Quant, if I had to choose one, you cannot make me do that. Ah, man, why gotta make me do that? Well, so like Quant and XRP are literally, like I always said that somebody always asks me this, like I'm really just like they're neck and neck. And then for instance, XLM would be like a second. XDC is like third or fourth. I can't choose one. I just can't choose one. And I don't have to choose one because I own all of them. Anyway. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Just not gonna do that. That's like saying I know this is a crazy analogy. Well, I guess I could use this example. Max, you could only drink one. You can only have one soft drink. Is it Coke, or is it Barks root beer, or is it like Mountain Dew? In reality, I could choose one. It would be Coke. So then answer the question, Max. I don't know. Maybe Quant, but XRP is like really like almost tied with it. And then XLM and then XDC. Anyway, then I would probably say my fifth would probably be HBAR. I never had like one. I just thought, okay, this is my number 5. Yeah. Now I think about it, I would have to say HBAR. HBAR is probably my number 5 for long term. Yeah. All right. All right. Let's get further into the rest of our particular coverage. Thank you for being here tonight. I know it's been kind of a, I don't know, interesting show. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe some of you guys will like, Super Bowl, Max. Super Bowl. Guacamole. Shout out to all the people who had fresh guac today. Shout out to all the people who had canned guac. Canned guac is disgusting. You need some fresh guac. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm going to read this and I'm going to kick it back to our coverage. Crypto McDizzle, for Shizzle Manizzle for show, states XRP has a 12.9x market cap over Quant. I take Quant just for that. Good point. There we go. All right. Going to highlight that. Here we go. Here is some more in regards to Hedera's HBAR. And I want to draw your attention to what you're about to see on the screen here in a bit. This comes from Bitcoinist, right? It's nice to see these particular articles because it's a little bit kind of like, instead of just having community-driven news, you get a little bit more of the mainstream. I'm going to do an outline on some of this. I'm not going to read everything verbatim, but what I want to state is this. You know, this was reported originally on crypto Twitter. Somebody linked it. And then I don't have the back and forth conversation, but this one guy, just kind of give you guys some info. He was starting to FUD HBAR. And then he was like, yeah, it's not tied to that. You know, let me see the article. And then the guy was like, yeah, here's the article. And here where it specifically mentioned it. It was like, oh, it's been crickets ever since. Anyway, so did you know that Shopify launches comprehensive blockchain suite for merchants? Yes, I'm kind of giving it away, right? If I already mentioned HBAR, we'll get to that. So it states that, yeah, e-commerce giant Shopify, you should know about Shopify, right? They launched a new blockchain suite of products for merchants. This development is expected to improve the experience of Web3-based stores hosted on Shopify, right? That's the quick gist. Now, if you're wondering that, what's going to happen for the merchants, it's going to allow the utilization of the token gating and leverage new features on the expanded wallet ecosystem. I know it's kind of a lot to take in. But according to Shopify's blockchain team designer, who is Ryan Creates Copy, that's his Twitter handle apparently, merchants can use new tools to build token gating apps on the e-commerce platform. Token gating is a common feature in the Web3 space and is a verification method for communities to provide exclusive access to certain events, contents, and even drops. Now, if you're wondering in regards to what does that have to do with NFTs and stuff like that, here it is. So it's seen as a way of creating exclusive, I can't even pronounce it. It's exclusive for token holders and allows NFT creators to grant access to a specific token holders, right? In the case of Shopify, though, merchants can modify their store setup to determine which exclusive products are accessible to certain token holders. Token gating, of course, has been in beta since June of 2022, so it's not like it's a brand new thing, right? This has been worked on for a while. This is supposed to improve the customer experience, specifically for Shopify. This is a good thing. If anything, this helps Shopify customers launch or leapfrog, as I would always say, into a Web3 experience. So we get further down, it states specifically that the integration is aligned with Shopify's recent problems, listen to this, regarding the privacy of users' data. There's been people, of course, that will complain about this, not just on Shopify. It's, it's a complaint across the spectrum. Earlier in 2022, the e-commerce giant faced a class action suit following the hardware wallets provider's high-profile ledger data leak. Ooh. Merchants can now access the unique sign-in feature to enclose shoppers that can easily sign into their wallets, et cetera, et cetera. There was a tweet that explained how to utilize a specific tool on the Shopify stores. But here is one of the key things, and that is Shopify continues to advocate blockchain solutions. And if anything, they understand that they need to improve their payment processing security and even scalability. This dates back to 2019. Since then, they have partnered with several different blockchain platforms such as Coin Payments, OpenBazaar, so on and so forth. And last but not least, the icing on the cake, if you're wondering, well, Max, just get with it. I just want to know, does it have something tied in with the H bar? Booyah Shaka. Yes. Boom Shakalaka, NBA Jam, all the way. Yes, this is Super Bowl Sunday. We got to throw in some NBA. It says, finally, Shopify is exploring new blockchain technologies and developing its solutions with its partnership with Hedera, Hashgraph, and Consensus. Yes, thank you very much. Raise the roof. Another great positive catalyst for the likes of Hedera. Let's dust our shoulder off even that much more. Hedera is doing it big. And if anything, I saw this earlier today. I was just like, I thought this was kind of like some news that kind of flew under the radar. Everybody was focusing on, what you see on the chart, some of the recent pumps, all that stuff is good, right? But I'm not into Hedera H bar for the short-term gains. I'm into it because I look at kind of like how I look at Amazon or something. I'm not kidding. I think Hedera's H bar is absolutely massive. It's one of the must own for the ISOs if you happen to not own it already. Not financial advice, but that's what I would basically be telling my friends and family. Anyway, let's kick it back to the comments. Before we do so, if you're wondering what's next on the agenda for tonight, it is Casper. Yes, not the friendly ghost, but Casper. All right, let's go further down. I do see some familiar faces, and it is Mr. Selmo Fudd. Crypto Talk Now, waiting on Larry's prediction on the bull run being 12/14/2023. All right, fair enough. We might actually have some special coverage on 12/14/2023. We may possibly do an early show and also the later show. The reason being is Congress is having a special hearing. I know this sounds like, well, huh? What? Maybe you weren't here for this. So, and by the way, Selmo, thank you for being here tonight. So Congress is supposed to have a special hearing to talk about what happened with the crypto crash of 2022. On top of that, there's supposed to be some good news going further. Ironically, I know this stuff ain't planned, guys. I'm just being honest. Ironically, they will address, or Congress will make this address at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. The meeting is supposed to conclude at 5 p.m. Eastern time on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Yeah, kind of weird. All right. And here we go. All right. So we still have about 42 wonderful people here tonight, 2 hours and 9 minutes into it. Let's get into the Casper news. Here we go. And here we go. So check out some of these particular stats. We are now up to, I should say we. I mean, I don't own Casper yet, but it's soon going to be even we as in me, right? 103,390 people hold Casper. Not too shabby. This was reported earlier to yesterday, I should say. So it's probably a little bit higher than that. On top of that, there's this. And did you know that they happen to have this monthly reminder to safely store your Casper on Ledger? How cool is that, right? A lot of, as the saying goes, not your keys, not your crypto, right? It's kind of getting worn out. I don't like hearing it from the likes of Gary Gensler stating, not your keys, not your coins, because if anything, that does kind of worry me for people that do hold on exchanges and so on, because it's like, is he coming after exchanges even more? He already went after Kraken. So, something to be said, right? We're going to play this. Like it says, connect your ledger to Casper Web Wallet now. Somebody in the comments in the recorded section was talking about this. Like, is there support for Ledger with Casper? Hopefully this should answer some of your particular questions. So whoever that person was, I forgot who it was. Shout out to you. This one is for whoever was thinking about this. It's 1 minute and 12 seconds. Pretty useful. And then we'll come right back for some more Casper coverage and maybe just get back into the comments. Here we go. Smash that like if you haven't done so already. Thank you very much.
In this video, we're going to show you how to connect your Ledger device to a Casper web wallet. Before we begin, make sure that you have the latest version of Ledger Live. You can get that at ledger.com by clicking on App and Services. If this is the first time using your Ledger, you'll want to initialize the device and make sure you have the latest firmware. You'll also need to make sure that you have a Chromium-based browser, such as Chrome or Brave. To install the Casper app on your Ledger device, open the Ledger Live Manager and then connect and unlock your Ledger device. Next, go to the App Catalog and find the Casper app. Click the Install button and the Casper app will be added to your Ledger device. You can now use the Ledger device with the Casper web wallet by following these steps. Connect and unlock your Ledger device. Then open the Casper app on your Ledger. Go to cspr.live/sign-in. Click on the Connect button in the Ledger section, and then Connect to Ledger Wallet. Select an account you want to use. Or, if this is your first time, click Generate Fresh Address. Your Ledger device is now connected to the Casper web wallet.
All right, so was glad to share that. I do see that some people have to take off. I understand, tomorrow is a work day. Got to go back to work. I'll read this. This is some of the technical stuff, but that's okay. Crypto Mike states market caps. XRP equals 19.9934. Casper equals 413 million. XTC 368 million. XLM, yeah, that's a typo. 2.23 billion. I was like, what the heck is XLC and why is it 2.23 billion? How come I never heard about it before? I'm kidding. Quant equals 1.58 billion. HBAR 2.2 billion. 0.435 billion equals Flare. These are all market cap, not fully diluted. Great point. Great point. All right, let's go further down. Is Casper available in Binance.us? I don't know that, but we can always look that up real quick. Let's see real quick where we're at. Casper, CSPR is their ticker symbol. I'm going to go ahead and share that screen for you guys. I clicked on the wrong button. Yikes. I haven't done that in a long time. Here we go. Here's some of the markets. So I don't see it. Yeah, that's right. It wasn't never on Binance. So it's not on Binance US. It's not on Binance, period. If you're wondering where you can get this, KuCoin is probably where I'm going to get it. Some people say, well, why don't you just get on crypto.com? Because it usually costs more to get it on crypto.com. Yeah, see even right here. 0.03872. KuCoin is 0.03885. It's consistently more on crypto.com. And not only that, if you use your debit card, they charge you an extra fee on top of that. Where on the other hand, KuCoin's just straight up, boom, the what do you call it? The quick buy is just right to USDT. The fees are very, very low. And then with crypto.com, you use your debit card. What is it? 3% right out the top, if I'm not mistaken, unless you want to, tie in your, like your checking account, but forget that. You have to wait for it to clear. It takes a few days. And then by the time that happens, let's face it, this thing could be, like where you're trying to purchase could be a lot more. Who wants to do that? Right. Anyway, here's some of the places: KuCoin, crypto.com. There's MEXC, Bitmart, if you want to go that route. There's of course other ones. OKX isn't bad. I haven't heard anything bad in regards to them, but some of these other ones like xt.com. I mean, I don't know. I have not exactly heard great things about xt.com. Just throwing it out. Anyway. All right, let's kick it back into the comments just for a bit. Yep. Have a good night, Cash. You probably already left. J-Rod says, thank you, brother. I will need to open a KuCoin account. Well, thanks for coming back, J-Rod. Appreciate you being here. Brian, thanks for being here still tonight, man. Great to have you here as always. Love the community that we have here. It's really, really cool. All right. Let's kick it into a little bit more of our coverage. We just talked about Casper. We do have a little bit more in regards to Casper and in regards to NFTs. So if you're just connecting and you're wondering, did they cover Casper tonight? Did I miss it? Well, we covered it a little bit earlier, but check this out. Let's dive into NFTs on Casper, because why not, right? Now, a few nights ago, not last night, but I think it was the night before last night, there was something that I felt was absolutely groundbreaking, right? Casper's basically making history with this particular thing that we announced with a particular blockchain and so on, right? So it's massive. We already talked about it. It's in the record section. If you haven't seen it, we also talk about it on live. But it was in regards to NFTs. So I thought, you know what? I need to get something to elaborate a little bit more on this. So here it is. So Casper blockchain is proud to bring over 140 and counting projects and exchanges, partners, and so on, and Web3 applications to us. That's going to enable seamless blockchain integration for developers, entrepreneurs, so on and so forth, right? But it states that the newest and most exciting projects built atop of the Casper blockchain for inspiration are some of the ones in this particular article, and we're not going to go to that at the moment. We may later. But check this out. It says that these NFT projects have been user and developer favorites. Casper blockchain not only allows developers, businesses, and NFT artists to create and build, but also makes unique contributions for the NFT space as a whole to thrive, redefining the very nature of NFTs. Now, I want to go further down in regards to this. We talked a little bit about this whole thing of safe, secure, authenticated NFTs, and that's one of the main things, of course, that was covered also in regards to that recorded. I believe that was released earlier this morning. That particular video is only about, I think, about like 12, 13 minutes. It's not super long, but it gets into the nitty gritty of what we're talking about. So if you're a person that is wondering about specifically Casper, or you're already into Casper, what specifically makes Casper a good choice for NFT projects? Well, let's get into that. So it says, as the NFT technology matures, the number of use cases increases, as we know, exponentially, with new requirements and unique challenges. NFT, of course, stands for non-fungible token. But the main thing is that this means they are unique and upgradable at the same time, as long as it exists in the proper context, meaning Casper blockchain. Now, this particular standard for Casper is referred to as CEP78 or -78. It's an NFT standard specifically for Casper blockchain, and it provides superior scalability, support efficient tools, and wider documentation to manage, own, and trade unique tokens on the Casper blockchain. In regards to CEP78, This will include an easy-to-use, hard-coded, off-the-shelf selection of modalities, I think it's pronounced. I might not be pronouncing that correctly. That allow for the installation of application-specific NFTs without needing to be programmed. A lot less time consuming and so on. Improve mutability of on-chain metadata, enabling NFTs to track chains and even state its associated asset. The author of these NFTs can choose to upgrade patterns and weighted key management. I should say, excuse me. Tangibility, modality, if I'm pronouncing that right, for recorded, whether the NFT represents a physical, digital, or a virtual asset. It's kind of like basically a way of trademarking or copywriting the particular NFTs, which is good. If anything, I do think maybe Disney would probably be interested in this. Remember when Disney was going after quite a few different people or organizations stating that, hey, we didn't give you the written consent to use our particular Disney NFTs. I don't know if you guys remember that. That was a big thing. Here's a particular answer to that. Native whitelist functionality, allowing NFT authors the ability to restrict the minting of NFTs to a pre-selected group of accounts. Again, think about it. Disney would be all over that. There are multiple projects already utilizing NFTs on Casper blockchain, such as Metacast, D-Music, and D-Gallery, WiseArt, Casper Punk, Friendly Market, House of Rare, so on and so forth. Casper's NFT technology can be utilized by companies to identify, track, and prove ownership of a physical item and link them back to the blockchain. That's a capability that is invaluable for tracking items through supply chains, protecting intellectual property and patents, authenticating precious valuables, and much more. And if anything, I want to draw some focus onto this. So for people who say, like some of my gaming friends, right? You know, like, why would I want to get an NFT? All I have to do right now to get the NFT is just right click on the image, save as, boom, I own that. Well, here's the answer to that. All right. This allows the protecting of intellectual property and patents, authenticating precious valuables, much, much more. Why? Being able to trademark these particular ones. So that takes it out of the equation. Yeah, a person can hit print screen and so on. We get that. But there's a difference between a store of value in an NFT compared to just somebody hitting the print screen and, oh, I own this. Yeah, you may own the image on your local computer, but does it have a store of value? The answer would be no. Casper supports the ability to upgrade NFTs and acknowledges the necessity of updating NFTs without going through complicated smart contract changes and paying hefty gas fees. And if anything, earlier in the show, we were talking about the significance of XDC and what they bring to the table in regards to the ecosystem and so on. More and more people want to build upon a blockchain that's less expensive, right? Has a pretty impressive ecosystem. And if anything, taking ETH developers and have them jump ship, like we mentioned before, to the likes of XDC. How about this as an example, right? Having devs that built on ETH-based NFTs and some of the other ones, right? Coming on over to the likes of Casper. Why would they want to do that? Well, for some of these particular examples, and that is they don't want to have to go through complicated smart contracts, paying hefty gas fees. Think about it. Ethereum, hefty gas fees. Almost sounds like the hefty commercial. Remember that? All right. How can businesses utilize upgradable NFTs? That's a great question. Let's jump into that as well. So, for instance, if you know about Metacast, you probably don't, but some of you may very well know about it. They are a spirits-backed NFTs. And I remember a long time ago, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, I don't know, maybe 5 months ago, I remember at some point Mike Cornwell was talking about a specific, I think it was a whiskey-based NFT or a hard, like maybe it was winery. Yeah, it was. And there was significance in regards to that. You're going to start seeing a little bit more of this. So, for instance, Metacast serves as a marketplace for spirits-backed NFTs. Users can collect and trade valuable whiskey bottles. I think this is starting to ring a bell. This might be the one. I don't know. If it's not the one, it's very similar to what we were talking about a few months ago. So it says users can collect and trade valuable whiskey balls or casks and request their tokenized assets to be delivered to them physically. As a whiskey cask ages, the whiskey maker must periodically check on the state of the cask. Because Casper NFTs are immutable, the whiskey maker can update the metadata of the NFT with the state of the cask to keep the NFT owner informed on the condition of the spirit. How cool is that? This is the what? The utility of an NFT. We're talking about this quite a bit. This is another perfect example of having NFTs that are tied into utility. We talked about before the whole thing of ALBT having the whole, what's the bonk DAO hack, right? And we're at the status of where we're at now. We get it. But you also realize that, ALBT, it has utility for NFTs, like passports, et cetera, with Nexera ID, right? Here's another perfect example. It's a different form, right, with whiskey, but you have an understanding of the significance of this. So it says immutability is an inspiring feature that will allow creators to unleash their creativity on Casper. MetaCask is one of the prime examples of how this unique feature can be utilized by the sky's the limit of how far NFT imagineers and entrepreneurs will be able to take it. There's this other thing I want to mention real quick, and then after that, I'm not going to mention all the rest of you because you can take more of your deep dive. And how about this? All right. So earlier we were talking specifically in regards to Quant about Quant's QNT 721, right? These particular secure smart contract NFTs and what they bring to the table. Let's face it, there's a lot of fraud that happened basically in late 2021, going into 2022 even, and so on, right? So Quant had their particular approach, and that was massive in itself. I felt as though once we get more of these NFTs going on, that in itself could make Quant, right, go parabolic. And there's a whole outline of why I felt that way. But how about this for Casper? Yeah, I know. Sounds crazy. Casper, really? Well, look at this. This is a fraud-free NFT environment. And this is exciting, just like it says. So exciting as it is, the NFT space has witnessed numerous frauds that involve swindlers and counterfeiters copying and selling NFTs. And this is even a problem for what I've read in the past with OpenSea, right? So it says without the original creator's consent, in fact, the issue is much more serious than one might think. The world's largest NFT marketplace, just like I mentioned, OpenSea announced that they removed plagiarized NFTs from their marketplace. Jeez, what's wrong with people? Don't they have any dignity? Well, when it comes to thieves have no honor, as the saying goes, right? So to address trust weaknesses like this, Casper can use trusted execution environments, which are called TEEs, or Ts. That sounds kind of funny. For verifiable minting that ensures safe storage, authentication, and verification of NFTs. That is huge utility for the likes of Casper. Another reason why I feel as though Casper, I have to put it in that particular group like XDC, where I feel as though it's just a matter of time before this blows up, like big time. XDC, Casper, both, let's face it, like they're at sale prices, if you will. So TEE, if you want to know a little bit more about this, provides proof that no third party was involved in the minting alongside a seal of approval for NFT creators who have minted within the trusted execution environment. And here is the hot, juicy stuff. So I want to state this. There's one thing to have utility, and it sounds great, but it's another thing to have a unique utility. Here is the magic moment, as I like to say as of lately, when it comes to some of this, and especially when it comes to Casper. So a couple of days ago, we're talking about some of the magic moments for Casper. Here's another particular example of just that. And this is what really, really excites me about Casper. All right. Can't believe I don't own this yet. Yeah, I'm going to get some. So when you see this, right, proof, actual proof, no third party was involved in the minting alongside a seal of approval for NFT creators who have minted within the trusted execution environment. If I was actively trading or minting or whatever you want to call it on OpenSea, and I was a victim to fraud of plagiarism from, let's face it, thieves, I would be all over this like a fat kid on cake. Why? Because I want to have something that has my back. Why wouldn't I? And again, as word of mouth spreads that Casper is tied into this quote unquote TEE mechanism, that further solidifies the want, the need, the supply and demand of what? Casper. You better believe that word of mouth will spread, and it'll spread like wildfire. At these particular prices, you can put 2 and 2 together. This is powerful stuff about Casper. This is why here at CTN, I'm getting more and more excited about covering Casper. Day after day, after I see more and more information about Casper, I become that much more excited about this because I understand that they have multiple layers of utility. And this whole thing with the NFTs, powerful, powerful stuff. Before we wrap it up, I want to state this, all right? And that is this particular line right here. Casper blockchain secures genuine businesses, artists, and creators' efforts by providing them with a minting environment that is specifically designed to protect their interests. That in itself is a very powerful statement, but you have to back it up with what? What we outlined here. Hopefully you enjoyed this particular segment. Smash that like if you haven't done so already. Let me know what you think in regards to what you just saw right there with Casper. I thought it was pretty freaking epic. All right. Let's kick it back into the comments. McDizzle states, he got Casper on Uphold. I think you would like Uphold, J-Rod. They also have ISO, XRP, etc. on Flare, according to Crypto Mike. J-Rod's thanking him. XRP just hit its support. It helped for a while, around a month ago or so. Open mind, Vive has Disney, Marvel, DC Comics, Coca-Cola, and many more great partnerships. Thank you for that, open mind. Mr. Sub on Flood says, Uphold is pretty good, Mike. I got XRP, HBAR, and Quant. Nice. Very nice. And well, partnerships. All right. Let me see if we have anything else for you tonight. Let me get into some of this. Okay, it is Cypherium, and this is actually, I was tagged in this, but let's face it, it was actually from Sean the Crypto Smith. This guy was reporting some info to him or us. So this comes from Carlos Trujillo, who I am following him. He follows me. He is a Cypherium advocate. He says he saw someone post a question about the uncirculating supply of Cypherium on our YouTube channel. Well, either mine or his, doesn't matter. He wanted to share this with us since it's not well known by those who pose the same question. Cypherium to the moon. All right, let's blow this up. No, let's not blow it up. I guess that's the biggest it gets. So it says, therefore, our token allocation after 10 years would be as follows. And here's some of that particular breakdown. Allocation accrued after 10 years. This is, of course, the pre-sale. All right, we have to get more caught up about this. But it says revised token metrics with 100% public sales target met. You do see 400 million revised token metrics, 400 million original token metrics, and so on. Some of the particular stats about the public sale, the partners for final sale. Everything looks kind of like on par for the most part, but the revised token metrics with 100% public sales target met. When you get down to the marketing, you do see that this was at 272, what was that, million? And then you have the revised token metrics at 672 million. And then there's, of course, some of these other particular stats when it comes to the ecosystem development fund, miners, total supply, and so on. Now, when we go further down, it says providing a vesting schedule, revising our token metrics has been an essential step to ensure huge success in the rollout strategy. We believe our community stands with us in these high-level decisions and acknowledge that they were made for the best interest of our members and the long-term trajectory of, or I should say, for a strong finish of the crypto project. Onwards, the Cypherium team. And of course, he thanked, Sean thanked him. I thanked him as well. And it's nice to be able to share that with you guys. And of course, here's the thing in the fine print. Sorry, I meant to zoom in a little bit more, but I can't. It says, no, if the 200 million CPH tokens available for public sale are not 100% sold, then the token allocation after 10 years will be somewhere between 7.4 to 6.4 billion. Team reserve marketing operations and ecosystem, like we just mentioned. Development fund have a vesting period with exceptions for necessity use. Mining allocation will be a portion, over 10 years at a rate of 5% rate of inflation. So nice to be able to share that in regards to Cypherium. We'll kick it into one other particular one, which is Jasmy. Not a lot of Jasmy info tonight, but let's go ahead and kick it into this. And if anything, here it is. Jasmy community page is now live on dfinance.app/project/Jasmy coin. Jasmy is now listed on DFinance Swap, whether you're a fan of that or not. It's also nice to see that they keep getting more and more listings. I saw a few other particular platforms that this was listed on as well. I think it's a good positive thing, whether these are the real popular ones or not, right? So it says Jasmy is a tokenized platform, as we know, that combines blockchain technology to provide infrastructure for safe and secure data. But here it is. And yeah, there's a little bit more information in regards to that. So nothing too big, but glad to be able to share it. I'm going to kick it back into the comments just for a little bit. And it's just one comment. And it's XR Paynet just dumped United States people staking. SEC is cause more problems for us citizens. Yes, I can't stand the SEC. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. I think, if anything, that might wrap things up. Let me just double check. I might just double check on the overall crypto market real quick. And trying to see if there's anything that kind of stands out. Yeah, you know what? There is one thing that stands out. All right, so before we wrap up the show, I want to point something out. I had to double check what's going on with this. And basically, on the top 100, Zilliqa is finally doing something. It was hovering around the 2-cent mark for the longest time, and it's gone above 3 cents for the first time in a long, long time. It's up to 9.29%. I guess maybe now people are kind of coming home. Maybe they're buying stuff. Dogecoin's up 4%. We'll have to double check this by tomorrow. It's kind of interesting. Nothing too crazy though, right? Let's be honest. But you never know. I mean, people, they, at their lunch break or having breakfast in the morning, right? They bust out their phone and they might start trading crypto because hey, I remember seeing Elon Musk with a Dogecoin shirt on or hat or whatever, right? All right, I'm gonna double check something real quick on my watch list before we completely wrap things up. As far as what's pumping, let's get into that. Nothing too significant. I do own UFO. I am looking to get out of it if I could ever somehow turn a profit. It's just kind of like some of the garbage I bought a couple years ago. Electronium, you guys keep mentioning this one. This is part of the QFS, the quantum financial system. This one's up 9.36%, sitting at 0.002924. This used to be one listed as a must-have from Investor Place. I just want to point that out. On top of that, Volt V2, shout out to Volt. They're up about 7.47%. Nothing else really kind of stands out at the moment. As far as like what's really, really on sale, let's take a double look at that. XSwap, you guys are always talking about that. That's down 40% right now. Maybe it's a great entry point for some of you guys. Maybe I should take more of a further look into it. But right now, I'm trying to put a lot of focus on what I really want to have and then also stack what I have. But I do see the potential there. I like how basically it kind of reminds me of like the Uniswap / Pancake Swap of XDC. Right, I think that's the quick gist of it. Once more and more people use this particular DApp, right, that could be big in itself. So I know a lot of you guys like that. Shout out to Mike Cornwell. His Bitcoin Pay is down 19%. But if anything, I mean, maybe that's just a really good swing trade. I mean, I know Mike mentioned that, DC showed me on the chart that, has a nice weekly swing trade. just kind of ones I think about getting into. I might make my entry point for Cypherium tonight. Just depends. It's kind of hit up with a lot of recent bills lately, medical bills, unfortunately. But nonetheless, this is a nice entry point to have it down 14.5%. So if you're thinking about getting to Cypherium, maybe this is a nice entry point. Again, not financial advice. Do not pay attention to ALBT on the old contract. As soon as we have the info in regards to the V2, we'll get into that. Anyway, Hedera's H-bar has had a pullback, which is good in my opinion, because I wouldn't mind getting some more. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else that kind of stands out. Singularity, right? Went all the way up to like 61, 62 cents. Is that now 39 cents? I'm going to wait for that further down. I mean, if it was to crash like hardcore, maybe I finally get into that, but it just depends. I have had my eye on Flux. Tim Shea's into Flux. All right, just a couple more. Aptos. If that goes down to $10, below $10, I think I pick up a bag of that personally. You gotta do what you gotta do. I came into the graph at I think about 6.5 cents, if I'm not mistaken. Was really glad I did. I wish I would have got a lot more. I look at them as being like the Google of crypto, if you will. Just trying to see if there's anything else that stands out. Stratos, shout out to XXI Gaming, right? He was mentioning, if this crashes down to 42 cents, I might want to pick this up. This might end up just being like a good continuous swing trade for me. And I don't really swing trade hardly anything. All right, that's about it, guys. I'm going to go ahead and just read a couple more comments. And if anything, we're going to end the show here briefly. Caroline Jasmine Bone. All right. I'm going to double check on Crypto Smith. All right. Well, he didn't take up, but that's okay. All right, guys. So join us tomorrow at basically 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, same time. This will be week 2 of our new show referred to as Utility Talk Now. You're not going to want to miss it. We're going to try our best to have a nice back and forth conversation in regards to some things that we see in the market. I think it's going to be an interesting show. It's in light of some of the recent things that have happened. I'll just give you a clue in regards to that. And looking forward to having Sean on here. If you haven't subscribed to him, he is the Space Crypto Smith. You could definitely subscribe to him. Have a great night, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed your Super Bowl Sunday. Thanks for joining us. Like if you haven't done so on your way out, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy.